me a radio check when you get up there between 4
Take a
and
look
7.
at our race analysis.
Shannon, cannot miss our lap here. It's the one place
yeah,
that way too much. So
that pit window.
I'll remind him. I'll be talking to him.
We'll get
make sure
Larry
you
on,
hear confirm
that
from
a little
him.
bit later, but
even remind him again when he gets to the top.
You're going to see some guys ducking in, I think, early. And hoping that they catch a caution and this thing falls their way as far as getting fuel and doing the fuel mileage.
The fuel mileage thing is critical.
But even if you don't say nothing, if you just finger on the button or whatever,
all that is. And then
I
I watched
just
Larry
thinking
in
after
the
walking
pre-race
with them, we
show
had that radio,
on TNT here.
Make sure you
try to explain it with his chalkboard and all the calculators, and I'm still lost on it. I understand the concept of it, but this guy hanging onto the steering wheel here, he knows one thing: I got to get to the front, and that's what. Therein lies the problem at a place like this, because you're in the carburetor so much with your foot off the gas, on the gas, downshift.
All the white.
That is tough to save fuel, unlike Michigan and unlike Pocono that we just come off of.
Got some really
all them yellows.
Cool shots
Every
here.
yellow
That's
you get.
said. That's about an 18 size.
I want to say not as important as the first run.
And Boris is one of those few guys that feel in tow.
All the electrical load off.
A lot of drivers will just use their left foot on the brake and then not ever even touch the clutch, which the pedal all the way to the left. And we'll show you that stuff throughout the race. But
and it's funny, I like Harvick's accelerator here. That's an old suicide throttle. If it hangs down, he can kick his foot back. You see this piece up here around the Pennzoil part. He can kick that back. A lot of people don't run that. You don't see it on Robbie's car right here. But Kevin still runs that old school, Saturday night racing type of throttle.
David Gilliland was involved in the happy hour incident here, or the practice incident here on Saturday. I might have misspoke. I might have said it was David Rudin. It was David Gilliland, so he's in the backup car. They actually borrowed from another team at the back of the field. It's Vickers and Kyle Busch, and you guys were talking about which
buddy. You know how to do it better than anybody.
Might take.
Everybody keep our patience with us.
It's going to be interesting on the restarts.
Here,
I think, right now you want to be on the inside. I think that's probably where you're going to be all day long, just because you're going to hope to get the jump on the guy. And we'll go through that, but right now the track's as clean as it's ever going to be, and that's going to be real important when you start picking lanes on those restarts.
Field works through turn 11 of this 12-turn track. A lot of elevation changes, really some blind hills, some tough turns, not a lot of places to pass. See how it all unfolds this afternoon here in Sonoma. Happy Father's Day. Glad you're along for the ride. NASCAR on TNT from Infineon Raceway in California. Green flag in the air.
And see, Vickers did exactly what you want to do when you're in that position, is get the jump and get clear. So now this right-hander is all yours.
And it's easier to do, like you said, with a clean racetrack at the beginning of the race. You see these guys piling in up here and bunching up. That's being very careful on the first lap. 10 laps to go, I'm not sure it's going to look like that.
Vickers trying to break away, chased by Kyle Busch.
Going inside. Going inside. Go there. The outside.
Three wide there. Jeff Gordon in the middle.
Clear all around. Clear, clear.
On board with Gordon.
Whoa!
Juan Montoya in the 42. Matt Kenseth right in front of him.
NASCAR back is about 2.5.
Down the hill through the S's.
This is a pretty cool spot too. You'll see as the race wears on, these guys burn off fuel. You'll see the left front tires on some of these cars coming completely off the racetrack.
Elliott Sadler inside of Jimmy Johnson for position.
Like you said, they pull that left front tire off the ground because they've got cold tires, they got plenty of grip, and they're willing to use it. As they're not as fast through there, and as they got a pedal through there, you'll see that tire come back down.
That was a very clean start, though. I mean, I think they're practicing for later on in the race.
You see the 14 just pull over right there and let the 39 go. That's give and take and playing well with others, just as Bill said in the opening. You got to kind of give and take and play well with others here and share the space.
Would Tony Stewart have done that with Biffle?
No, that's his teammate.
That's right.
He's making money off that 39 car.
Yeah,
I need to get him to the front.
He's so much playing with others as playing with your buddies.
Okay, playing with your friends. He's playing well with his friends right now.
Martin Truex Jr. in the one car. That's 5th and 6th right there.
I don't know if Tony's having trouble, but Martin's making some time through there.
But see, this is where Martin's car is working really good now. He's got the 14 set up for a pass. And that's perfect what I was talking about. If you're good through that section and you can get through that last corner close enough to the guy that you're trying to pass, you can make that braking move, but you've got to be working on that part of the racetrack.
Don't you like it when the guys on the racetrack do exactly what you told them to do?
It really makes us look like rocket science.
Yes, that was perfect.
Let's check with Matt Yoakum.
And Martin Truex Jr., who won in the Nationwide Series down in Mexico City a couple years ago, has really improved his road racing skills. And the only issue he had in final practice, Bill, and Kevin Bono Mannion felt like that they had tuned it up, was the fact they needed more forward grip off the corners. And so far, it's looking like they've really made some good improvement on that one car.
On the move forward. Kyle, you've been all around this track the last few days, haven't you?
The last few days, I've fallen down a bank over here through the S's. I've been up to the other end. And you know, it's funny because this is what you guys see at home right here is the same thing the crew chiefs see. And we used to go out and practice, and you come in, you say, I need forward grip. I need some side bite. And they were like, well, keep all 4 tires on the ground, and we'll do the best we can. Because you carry a tire here. You hit these curves, picks up a left front, picks up a right front. You see them up there in turn 4. The whole car seems to jump over that curbing and head towards that inside wall. It's really hard for a crew chief to understand what the drivers are going through out there a lot of times.
And I don't care how far these cars have come, they don't like changing direction. It's not like a road course, you know, a real road course car or road course series. These cars are heavy, they're under tired, they're under everything really on a road course. It's amazing they get around a track like this to begin with.
They're under everything but horsepower and weight. They're just heavy cars with a lot of horsepower, and everything else can't match that.
Marcus Ambrose started 43rd. He has moved his way up. Check that. He came across the line about 41st, and he's gained 9 positions so far up to 32nd. Marty, what are you working on?
Watching Jeff Gordon, Bill, and you know he's kind of held his own here. Started 13th. He's up in the 12th position right now. Talked to Gordon yesterday. He said, honestly, since this new car has been introduced into the Cup Series, he feels like he's lost a little bit of his advantage at these road courses. He hasn't figured out this new car. So they went to Road Atlanta, tested this car, which is a brand new one for the 2014. They built, took several months to build this car, a lot of time. Jeff loved it, but when they got here, slow on new tires, very good on old tires. So the beginning part of this run, right now, that's what Steve Letarte is interested in. How well or how poorly they run right now will make decisions on what they change later in the race.
And Marty, I don't know how many of these teams really made long runs on tires. I know the Hendrick guys weren't. It didn't seem like that they were really happy with the road course cars here. You know, they were okay, but they definitely felt like they were, you know, they could be better. But that's going to be interesting to see once these guys get down on tires, because that's really going to show who the cream of the crop is.
Gordon runs in the 12th position, 2 positions in front of him. Juan Pablo Montoya has picked up 7 spots from 17th to 10th. There's Juan in the Target Chevy.
And that's impressive. We talk about Ambrose coming from the back and passing cars that he out-qualified. Juan did not out-qualify these cars. He's at the cream of the crop end of the field right now. So when you can pick up some positions on this end, that's big.
Yeah, but Marty, he's just points racing, right?
Yeah, he's just points racing. Believe that, Bill. We'll see how that plays out in about 100 laps or so. 17th, actually the best Juan Pablo Montoya has ever started here. And really, when you talk about combination of power and fuel mileage, the 42 car might have the best out here. How aggressive he is late in the race, that's going to be a big key. But you talk about those long runs in practice, Wally, that's all this 42 car did yesterday. Minimum 10 lap, maximum 15 lap runs on old tires. Brian Patty really put him through the paces to see how he would be on old tires. That's going to be key today, because these tires have a huge fall off from when they're brand new to when they're old.
Here's today's Aflac trivia question. Cue the duck. How many drivers have won 3 or more consecutive road course races? Anybody?
What, 3?
You're just watching out the front bumper here, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm impressed with this shot right here. I'm going to say, how many drivers have won 3 or more? I'm going to say 2.
5.
Okay. Very good.
Is it 5?
Did you cheat?
Yeah,
since I was holding it right here. Yeah.
No, I didn't look at your sheet, I swear.
And the only driver with more than 3 is Jeff Gordon. It's our Aflac trivia question. This is Back about the 13th position. Greg Biffle is 13th.
Oh, is that
Hornish.
77 car? You know, and Hornish was one of those guys in that final practice that was actually, he was using his car up. He was braking hard. He was running deeper and harder into the corners than anybody out there in that practice session.
He's side by side back there. Was that AJ next to him?
You got me.
On board with Harvick.
We should pay attention a little bit.
Blues everywhere. Back on the left, on the right.
77 break. I think he got there, and like you said, he was running so hard.
Yeah,
that those
four
guys in
loose
front of him,
everywhere.
Obviously, at that point,
Especially on the
wasn't running
left,
as hard
but
as
even
he
on the
was
right.
running.
I got you.
There you see the distance from first place Brian Vickers to 16th place Kevin Harvick. Looking forward at Joey Logano. There's Vickers. Started on the pole, has led every lap so far.
What if we could use the sun to help keep us cool? Solar-powered ventilation to help cool you. Available on the 3rd generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
Cheerios works naturally to help lower cholesterol. Let it help lower yours.
Hey race fans, get in gear. Make this your month to lower your cholesterol with the help of Cheerios. Sign up at CheeriosRacing.com for a chance to be one of the 3,300 fans to get your name on this car in July. Don't wait. Get a jump start on your heart health today.
What are you doing?
I let the beat bounce.
You know what's up with the monster? Genius.
Aflac, official partner of NASCAR.
What a great event to drive to.
Sonoma, California, home of Infineon Raceway. Today's running of the Toyota SafeMart 350, and you can see this course, and there are cars spread out pretty much all over it. Everyone chasing that one. Brian Vickers. Here is our Toyota driver update. By the way, this is the first time Vickers has ever led on a road course. This is his 10th road course race.
Yeah, he looks like the 77.
Yeah. He's leaving pit road. Report of a vibration on that car. That was after we saw him smoke the tires.
Yeah, he got down in there at 10. He jumped on those brakes really hard to avoid hitting whoever was in front of him, and he peeled out to the right, but I'm sure he flat spotted him pretty hard.
The 04 of P.J. Jones and the 66 of Dave Blaney have gone to the garage early in this race.
There's Marcus Ambrose. Where's he running now? He is in the 26th spot.
That's right.
So he is making his way up very carefully.
It's a gain of 11 positions. How about it, Ralph?
Oh, right now that car, he says, a little stiff in the front, a little too soft in the rear, but the crew told him you're not losing any ground. And one thing they have talked about is trying to get maybe a little off sequence in their pit stops early in the race to try to gain some track position if there's cautions. But the one thing Marco said is it's extremely important that we're back on sync with the very last pit stop of the day. That we can't afford not to do.
An update, Marcos. He's picked up 15 positions since the start of the race.
And that's pretty impressive because he's not losing ground to the leader. He's running the same lap times as the leader. So they're moving at the same pace forward. He's still got that gap from where he started, but at least he's running the lap times.
Boris said in that 08 car.
We've talked about Boris before, and I've said this.
Oh, trouble. There's AJ out in the dirt. Oh, and those are hard on the splitters.
Look at that splitter digging in right there.
Oh, he's got a left front flat tire or something broken in the left front because that car's definitely down.
One by one here, they're coming.
What's going on, Matty?
Wally, the issue for the 44, he had flat spotted his tires earlier. He was actually going to hit pit road this time by. Now his day is really taking a turn for the worse.
Go back and see if we can't take a look at this.
Yeah, it must go flat right there because he's going straight across the racetrack. Now, whether it was up,
no, it's down.
It's down, but it goes down right there. You know, when he turned in, there was nothing there to hold him, and he's out there.
Did he make contact with somebody?
Yeah.
That's the.
You see him go in. He feels like it's up. He turns in, but it's going straight right there. It was down when he got to that corner.
Yeah.
And you see, poor Kevin. Kevin doesn't know which way he's going. So see, Kevin gets passed on the outside by his teammate because he didn't know where the 44 was going.
But those guys did a good job not wrecking behind that.
Yeah, they all did a good job because you pile into that corner pretty hard and you're downshifting in the first gear a lot of times.
Hello, Larry.
Yeah, just looking at some of these guys starting to have flat tires, remember, Goodyear does not run the inner liner here, and you bang wheels so much here, it's very easy just to knock a valve stem off and you end up with a flat tire, I think, just like what A.J. Allmendinger ended up with.
Hey, Larry, how's your calculator?
It's smoking right now, man.
It's going to be interesting to see when the first guys start coming to pit road. You had a good philosophy on Vickers being out front and how their race strategy may or may not play out.
Yeah, I was visiting a little bit with Elton Sawyer down there about the 83, and he said, yeah, he says, I'm not, you know, he says one lap is one thing. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to stay out there, but, you know, like I mentioned to him, I said, you know what, it's so hard to pass here. If you can just stay out front and not make any mistakes and be smooth, it's going to be real difficult for somebody to pass you as long as you can keep out there. So right now, that's what he's doing, and he's running good lap times.
Here's Boris in his office.
Look how big Boris's brake pedal is. Look how big that brake. So when he goes to it, he knows he's going to be there with it.
But watch when he downshifts. He pumps it, making sure the fluid isn't boiled, right, Larry? And he hits it with his, and he'll roll his foot. He hits the brake with his right foot, and then he rolls over on the throttle and then clutches and downshift. That's very busy. I started doing that when I started road racing and got off it and went into left foot braking, and that's what most of the guys do now.
And this is the way they teach you to heel and toe, to put your toe on the brake like that and to roll your foot over a lot of times and to roll it and hit the gas. The Cup guys, none of us ever understood that. We would jam on the brakes with our heel and roll our toe over and use our toe
It'd be
over.
really ugly.
Yeah, and it was ugly in there. It looked like your feet were going in opposite directions, like you were duck feet. But Boris is probably the best there is at this right now.
And we want to thank the teams that allowed us to install some of these trick shots, and BSI for the extra effort to bring us those radically different views. And I want to thank you for participating on the conference call, which is something you don't do very often, with all the ideas of where to put those cameras.
He's talking to you, isn't he?
No, I'm talking to you. Marcus Ambrose to pit road.
4 tires. Fuel.
Okay, Ralph, here we go.
Well, Bill, this was all about getting out of sequence early and trying to gain some track position if and when the brakes fall their way. He said he was getting very held up out on the racetrack. He caught Dale Earnhardt Jr., couldn't find a way around the 88 car. They're going to bring him in. The car's pretty good. It's just not exactly perfect. They're going to put 4 tires and fuel, some very minor air pressure adjustments to the car, and hopefully give themselves an opportunity to gain some track position and some clear racetrack.
They're going to have to hustle.
But it's a gamble no matter how you look at it. And if it works, if he gets a caution at the right time, they're going to look like heroes. But it can work against you just as much. And now they got the leaders coming in the hairpin, but I think he's going to go ahead and keep out in front of them.
And we can tell you that A.J. Allmendinger got a pit road speeding penalty, so he had to go and take a pass-through penalty. So we'll watch for speeding penalties on pit road today, as well as we do every week. They're closing in on Brian Vickers here in Sonoma.
See you tomorrow, Steve. Tony Stewart. Thank you, Tony.
Tony?
Armor All wash, wipes, and tire shines. Go ahead, stare.
And to clean your car while you shine, try Armor All Protect It.
Dude, that was sick! I've been hanging up there for, what, like 40 years? And then wham! Here I am, smacking the pretty off that windshield of yours. Oh, what, you looking for an apology? Or toss another coin in the wishing well, pal. It's not happening. Hey, what's up, Donnie? How you been?
Accidents are bad, but Geico's good with on-site windshield replacement.
Jump loose, worse to the left than it is the right.
The leader is climbing over many hills here in Sonoma, California. Infineon Raceway for the Toyota Save Mart 350 for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Brian Vickers has led every lap. We've completed 15 of 110, but Kyle Busch is right there. How about the leader, Lindsay?
Bill, you can believe that Vickers knows that Kyle is breathing right down his neck. He just came on the radio and told his crew chief, Ryan Pemberton, I'm really tight in 7. I'm flat in the center. Vickers said that they had worked at VIR, but he also told me earlier today that that kind of stuff he thinks does not translate as well as he wants to on this course. He said he always tries to attack the curbs, but always ends up making a mistake. So we'll see if he can get these handling issues under control.
And the closer the 18 gets.
Yeah, watch when he comes into 11 here. He's definitely cooking the right front going into these corners. He did up in turn 7.
The 83 is.
The 83 is.
But just like
watch the right front when he goes in there and brakes. And he's being pushed a little bit harder, too.
Just like Wally said in the opening, right here he's looking in the mirror. He's not looking at the corner. He's looking to see where did the 18 go to the inside, did the 18, and you see he moves to the inside and locks that corner and smokes it.
And he's a sitting duck. Let me tell you right now, Kyle's going to get around him.
I think that's
Kyle's car is faster, and Kyle's just setting him up. And you know, like Kyle says, 83's looking in the mirror quite a bit. So when you get to that point, you're almost better off letting him go this early in the race, because all you're doing is putting yourself in a position where you're going to get run into.
Larry?
Yeah, just going back to Marcos Ambrose and Frank Kerr, the strategy by pitting on lap 12. It's going to be a stretch for them not to have to make now still 2 more stops. But what they're probably banking on, Bill, is the fact that those 2 runs, which they would almost have to run 49 laps per run, they would have to have about 7 to 9 laps of caution in each of those runs to be able to make it on 1 more stop, and I think that's going to be a stretch.
New leader, Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I just don't think the 83s can get in there, brake, and turn at the same time.
It's your mark now.
Kyle set him up perfectly. That was a nice pass.
And that was a clean racing pass right there. That wasn't, I'm going to force you to make a mistake. And you saw Brian get in there, hang out. He thought about cutting back across the hood of that 18. Thought better of it and just let it float on out there and hop the tire and smoke it a little bit.
You see the Transformers paint scheme on the 18 car of Kyle Busch. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen hits theaters this Wednesday, June 24th. More from Mr. Yoakum.
Bill, it's been pretty much quiet on the radio from Kyle Busch to his team. He did say that the only issue he really has, he needs help on the left turns. When I talked to Steve Addington, he says, boy, what a difference a year makes. Last year, they were having to look at pit strategy because they had no risk, nothing really to lose. But now that they're up front, they have sat down, they have a number that they've picked out, and they're going to try to stick to that number as far as their pit strategy. And when they want to hit pit road, right now they're just looking maybe an air pressure change to try to help on those left-handers.
And boy, there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, you can make a change, but you don't want to go too far because there's a lot more right-handers than left-handers. And, you know, you're trying to find that balance, but you got to be careful not to, you know, overdo it.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, we've talked about it before. there's a slow part of this racetrack and there's a fast part of this racetrack. And which part do you give up? And then when you start giving up left-handers versus right-handers, it's a compromise. And I'm telling you, man, his car looks good right now. He may not like the way it looks, but from where I'm sitting, it's looking pretty good from up here in the booth.
On board with Tony, looking at his teammate Ryan Newman. Joe Gibbs Racing has won 6 of the last 9 road course races. Kyle Busch is in the lead, looking for his 3rd straight road course win.
Beautiful it is. That's the spot right up there. Set it down. Yeah, good job. Who wants a beer? Drop me a beer. That's what I'm talking about. Incredible game.
The world's hottest sport meets the world's most refreshing beer. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the official beer of NASCAR.
Want a driver's autograph? Leave it to the driver's seat.
Our FedEx Camry is really running great.
Ah! Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's gonna peg! Be careful! There's something on my car!
Hey, kid.
Here's Ryan getting ready to make his approach to the men's room.
Looks like he needs to go urgently.
True. And there's Casey about to drive, also to the men's room.
He has been going over and over.
Now Wilson, 3rd time today, says he's going a lot at night, too.
Yes, I'm afraid he thinks it's par for the course.
They ought to see their doctors.
Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
And call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
It's bigger than the Boston Tea Party. It's the biggest sporting event in New England. NASCAR is coming to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. For less than 13 cents per mile, as little as $39 per ticket, you can experience the excitement and drama of the Lennox Industrial Tools 301 on June 28th. It's more than a race, it's non-stop entertainment, including a 3-dog night concert, flyovers, a Tyrannosaurus eating a car, and more.
NASCAR. Everything else is just a game.
We're in Sonoma, California, Infineon Raceway, the Toyota SafeMart 350 for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, and there is some intense racing all over this track. Here are some Coors Light cold hard facts. Jeff Gordon has 9 road course wins. 5 of them here.
Completing 20. That last 5 was a real good old budget. Keep doing what you're doing.
Kyle Busch won here last year, is the youngest ever to win a road course race at 23 years and 1 month. Of course, he swept the road course races last year. Ricky Rudd won here in 2002 at the age of 45 and 9 months. Our Coors Light cold hard facts.
Caution's out. Caution's out. Full course.
That's Jeff Burton. That's turn 11 right there.
You see somebody's hit the tires and knocked the tires back up. You just saw as Jeff drove off. I don't know if that was part of that incident, but he's moving slow.
And the caution flag is out. First caution of the day. 20 laps are complete.
The track is clear.
Max Pappas will be the lucky dog as the first car straight off the lead lap.
No. Don't worry about saving fuel. No
And
need.
of course,
we're going to come way before our window.
when we go back to green, it will be a double file restart. Let's go back and see if we can find out what happened to Jeff Burton. Already underway there. David Reagan.
He clobbered those
He
things.
did.
And that's probably why the caution is out, because the tires are sitting there upside down, could fall over in a bad place, more so because there doesn't appear to be anything on the racetrack, because Jeff just really got around on him.
We fight for the first 15 or so.
Wrong place, wrong time for David Reagan.
Real loose.
Kyle Busch is the race leader. Then it's Vickers, Kane, Stewart, and Borisset.
Yeah,
Under
it's definitely
caution
a little
for the
looser
first
left,
time.
but
Get
it's
ready.
pretty loose to the right. I was impressed how good it was turning in.
Now there's a phone that truly lives in real time. Introducing the Palm Pre from Sprint. With a revolutionary web OS, it constantly updates multiple live applications. Designed for the Now Network.
Hi, may I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for car insurance that isn't going to break the bank.
You're in the right place. Only Progressive gives you the option to name your price. Here.
A price gun?
Mm-hmm.
So I tell you what I want to pay.
And we build you a policy to fit your budget.
That's cool. Feel so empowered.
Power to the people!
The option to name your price. New and only from Progressive. Call or click today.
At Dodge, we build mechanical bulls. We build freight trains. We build toolboxes. We build field offices. We build fan clubs. We build the all-new, award-winning Dodge Ram. Come see what we built for you.
Brilliant little microbes that turn everyday crops into renewably sourced fabrics and plastics. Things that build safer cities the world over, and Mars-going crafts called rovers. Super small motors and gears, greener buildings, safer safety gear, lighter weight cars, and fuel-saving jets. For you and me and a healthier planet. All this and more from DuPont.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
For one group of men,
we have to show the world that not all of us will like him.
a single act of treason
We have to kill Hitler.
would be the ultimate act of bravery. See the movie event critics are calling an intense, top-notch thriller.
Operation Valkyrie is in effect. Every second we stand here is a second lost.
Tom Cruise,
Hitler's Germany has seen its last sunrise.
Movies playing on channels 125 through 199.
Pit, pit, pit.
Back at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California.
No speed there. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. All right, ease up, ease up, ease up, ease up, ease up. All right, we're about 7 more. Come on down. Come on down. There you go. 3, 2, 1.
Marty Snyder.
Bill, very interesting here. Just outside of everybody's fuel window, and the tire fall-off was pretty good on that last run. So a gamble here by Steve Letarte and Jeff Gordon. Jeff saying the car way too loose for him. Air pressure, Jeff.
See me on this 12. Listen to me good. Off there. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. One outside the 6. 34, 34.
Big gamble also for Matt Kenseth, who was running in the 9th position. He had said the car gets looser and looser each lap, and there's a wheel hop. They gave him 4 new tires and sent him on his way.
And the track bar adjustment already working there.
Be ready. We're coming back in about 4 laps.
Jr.
Make sure
He
you
said
get a
his
fuel can
car
ready.
absolutely plowing in turns 7 and 11.
The full
Air
ones, I want it to
pressure
go quick.
change, taking considerable amount of time on the right side. Now over to the left. Jeff Kerr with the jack, pump and a half. It's up. And he's finally away to round.
You're in front of the 17. Go up in front of the 17.
Said crew chief Frankie Stoddard saying, let's gamble a little bit. We'll pit now and pitting.
I have no idea where you're running because the scoring has to stop, so you're just going to have to damn double up. Get up there as far as you go.
This is going to be interesting. Well, yeah, this is what we talked. Normally on these other
Wait,
tracks,
let me know right now behind the 47.
decides which one he wants, and it's like
Probably right.
It's pretty easy.
I don't have it. Yeah, probably behind the 47.
In
Front of the
like
17.
on the start of the race, just because you're trying to get the jump on that guy getting into turn 1.
Kevin Harvick, too fast, exiting pit road.
Well, we had 15 cars that stayed out, Bill, but I think the cars that pitted, they're pitting with 88 laps to go. That means they have to run.
What we're doing here, bud, we're going to just run you a few more. We're going to have to gas over.
Absolutely doable. What's going to be interesting for our fans, you see those top
I don't know.
15
You're 21
cars right
here,
there.
so you got to be
Within the
probably
next
20th. You're running 12.
6 to 8
Looks
laps,
like you're
maybe
20th.
even less. They'll be hitting pit road under green for their first pit stop.
Goes Max. He's the lucky dog in that 13 car. Dave Blaney, P.J. Jones out of the race. Fans, Off Track with Tony Stewart, presented by On Roll, is an exclusive video series that puts you behind the scenes with racing superstar Tony Stewart. To watch now, go to NASCAR.com/on-roll.
You should be up front of 17 there beside the 43.
He's going to have the pedal. I think he's going to make it.
And you know, we've not had the lucky dog out here before. They've kind of, so this is a new rule because of the double file restarts. They've implemented some of the stuff. I want to tell you, they let him go over here through the S's. He's got to go all the way around the racetrack. He's going to be lucky to be up in turn 7 by the time they drop the green flag over here.
Start finish line right now. So, you know what? Well, he'll have a full head of steam.
Yes, he
close, but
NASCAR told the drivers in the drivers meeting that there's a very short timing segment at the exit of pit road, and that could be an issue with these drivers today. That is where they caught Harvick speeding. He'll restart at the rear of the field. We check with Marty as they come to the green.
Yeah, guys, real quick, Jeff Gordon is going to come back in 6 laps. So I was going to ask Larry Mack real quick, is the difference on new tires the reason Steve Letarte is doing that? So are they going to gain time here? That would seem like to me to be a logical decision. Take on new tires now, run 6 or 8 laps on them, and then see how much time you can gain.
No, the reason he's doing that, Marty, the reason he's doing that, he's going to come in and put fuel in. He'll only have to be there for a couple of 3 seconds, where if you change 4 tires, it's about 13 to 14 seconds.
All right, let's see
NASCAR waving off the green, another lap of yellow. We'll take a break under caution at Sonoma.
Get in the game with the Gillette Fusion Gamer, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns. Did you know you can get Fusion blades for as low as $1 a week? Gillette, the best a man can get.
On the nation's fastest 3G network, AT&T.
I kind of knew their reaction would be a little like, you know, what are you thinking?
I had a knot in my chest. I didn't really want her to go, but I knew she could do it.
I felt like there were bigger and better things for me to do.
She took what she was doing seriously.
My self-confidence just went through the roof.
It was awesome to see her transform from a girl in a small town to a soldier.
If your son or daughter wants to talk about joining the Army, listen. You made them strong. We'll make them Army strong. Find out more at GoArmy.com.
I never thought it could happen to me. Heart attack at 53. I had felt fine. But turns out my cholesterol and other risk factors increased my chance of a heart attack. I should have done something. Now I trust my heart to Lipitor.
When diet and exercise are not enough, adding Lipitor may help. Unlike some other cholesterol-lowering medications, Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, and certain kinds of heart surgeries in patients with several common risk factors or heart disease. Lipitor has been extensively studied with over 16 years of research. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
I was caught off guard, but maybe you could learn from my story.
Have a heart-to-heart with your doctor about your risk and about Lipitor.
TNT in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series in Sonoma, California. Coming to the green flag, NASCAR added a lap
off
to make sure everybody was in the proper order for the restart.
Ready.
Kyle Busch, Brian Vickers on the front row. Busch got lane choice.
Green flag, green flag,
12 and the 31 just jumped onto pit road. Here we go.
And you got to be careful, too. Some of these guys in the middle of the pack right here have fresh tires. And these guys up front have been on their tires. So they got to be really careful getting up into this corner right now. They don't run each other over.
Top 16 cars did not pit.
Not running over, but they are running over each other.
The 18 didn't get the jump on the start like the 83 did. New tires versus old tires, is that the reason? I don't know.
I would guess.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You don't know. I mean, I'm not sitting in that car. I don't know what these guys are feeling or what they're thinking when they jump on the gas. But these guys on the that have picked up trash, these things are skating right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is not like those guys that start regular restarts.
Boy, you see all the traffic the double file restart leads to. Fans love it. The drivers do not.
I'll tell you, everybody, so far, I've been really impressed. Everybody's done a really, really good job getting through that first couple of corners.
Clear.
Ron Fellows said in the garage this morning, driving here after you've gone like 3 or 4 laps is like driving in the rain. That's how slick it is.
It's incredible. And especially, you know, you ride around out there, and Wally talked about it earlier. The racetrack was as clean as it was ever going to be. We've seen guys run off, knock their stuff off.
Still
We've
next
seen
to
flat
you.
tires come
Still
off back
next
on
to you.
gravel.
Still there. Still there. You're clear.
That's just the way it is. These guys, they pick up all that on these hot tires.
They're all
They're
around.
220, 230 degrees. Pick up all that trash. No
In a
matter how
window,
much
if I
you
see
scrub
something in
them
the gravel,
off,
we're going to be on
you
pit
don't
road.
get it all off.
Right, well, not that, but the way these splitters are, too, you're picking up all the dirt and the rocks, and you've seen when a guy comes back on the track, they're dumping rocks and dirt all the way down the racetrack because there's stuff up inside the car and everything. And one of those little rocks on a hot tire is not good.
It sounds like going down a tar and gravel road and it's just coming up under your car and just splattering everywhere. And that's the way it sounds. Surprisingly, you can hear it inside the car, but at the same time, it feels like you're on ice, like you say when you try to turn it.
08 car, as Boris said, racing with Greg Biffle. How about it, Ralph?
Well, Bill, our Larry McReynolds isn't the only one burning up the calculator right now. Listen to Frankie Stoddard. He's working his pretty hard as he communicates to his driver, Boris said.
Hey, conserve fuel here for me, okay? I want you to just conserve fuel on this run, okay? Conserve. You need you right now to be shutting it off and conserving all the way around.
Obviously, Boris did not hear that radio transmission because he is not saving fuel at all right now.
I think he thinks if you get up next to somebody really close and just root them out of the way, they'll carry you down the straightaway because that's what he just did.
Oh, wow, the 11 gets in there way too tight and turns Boris around. He was way in there on the inside and had nowhere to go. And he turned left to miss the tires, and Boris got it.
Look at all those positions he just lost.
And that's the bad part. We talk about the double file restarts. That right there has the potential to happen at the top of this hill if you have a late caution. And that's when a great day can go for naught.
Yeah, watch down on the bottom there, the 11 car. Denny Hamlin's way down there. Then he has to turn to the left to miss the tires. Unfortunately, he hooked Boris in doing that.
Boy, Biffle and Earnhardt Jr. did a good job. Kevin Harvick stops for some fuel and then returns.
And that's his penalty, isn't it?
He started at the end. But at the same time, he was already at the end, so why not stop and put yourself on another sequence? And Larry will have to come back to us on that later in the race to see how that plays out, because I don't have a clue.
Larry will tell us after the race.
That's what I'm saying. But he will know. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to know.
Oh, here comes the leader. 26 laps coming around a complete lap. 27, Kyle Busch ducks onto pit road.
Okay, here, 35. Pit road, guys. Problem, we'll get it. Pit this time. Pit this time.
Long, slow trip down pit road.
Painful, too, for a driver. It's a long ways.
Matt?
Bill, 35 miles per hour. It seems like it takes forever. His team up on the wall. Kyle Busch broke it down simply. I need help turning left, and I need help going straight on drive-off. Absolutely no grip. The car is so loose. But then he broke it down by corners. You can see the chassis adjustment already completed. So turn 2, it's tight. Turn 4, it's tight. If I hit the curbs, it's tight. If I hit the curbs just right, I'm good. Tires on. A little tug on the fender. He stalls it. He grabs it again, and he's away.
You see Martin Truex Jr. on pit road right behind him. We talked about that first gear this morning in the meeting.
A lot of times on the ovals, you only use first gear leaving the pits. That's your deal. You restart in second, you run up through the gears, second, third, fourth. Here you use every gear. And then when we first started coming out to road courses and these guys first started coming, they didn't use first gear. But these engines and the power curves and the torque rings they have, they're able to drop these things down, use first gear, change their transmissions, and it's tough leaving the pits. It's tough on the clutch. That's up on the clutch right there.
Your first gear is so long.
It has to be all the way around to the line. All the way around to the line. Come around. Come around. Keep coming. All right, easy right there.
Stewart is the race leader. The 83 of Brian Vickers, also Montoya.
Come on down. 4, 3, 2, 1.
A couple of cars there.
Go. 34.
I knew one of us was going to do it. Yeah. Thanks for getting me up the hook. So work being done on Vickers' car.
There you go. All these guys are having trouble. They're lighting it up, which is good. It gets them off. But boy, when that thing finally catches, it wants to stall the engine out. So, and these are good guys really having trouble with this right now.
Come on.
Marty?
Bill, quick stop for Juan Pablo Montoya, and you see that excruciatingly slow coming off pit road in the Target Chevrolet. Very happy with the car, lost a little forward bite at the end of that run, half a pound out of both rear tires, also a track bar adjustment, trying to get the car just a little bit better for Juan. Very happy though, Lindsay.
Marty, Brian Vickers, you just saw him come in and go out. They gave him 4 tires, made an air pressure adjustment. Ryan Pemberton, his crew chief, had been guiding him in, saying no pressure, guys. But Vickers, remember, had been talking about being a little bit loose in turn 4 and 7. They fixed that. He said turn 7 feels a lot better now, Bill.
Thanks, Lindsay. Tony Stewart is the race leader. He has not stopped. Here's the spin a moment ago.
Outside, you there, the 11 outside.
That's on board. Clint Boyer looking out the front bumper. Johnson's on pit road in front of Matt.
Johnson's in, track bar adjustment already completed, needed help in 7 and 11. Also, Chad Knaus broke it down that he felt like
Keep doing your deal, bud. Keep doing your deal. You got the 18 is about 4 seconds back. He's the first leader that's pitted. You're looking good.
Should be on pit road anytime.
Tony has not stopped. Casey Kane, Ryan Newman, Elliott Sadler, Reed Sorensen have not stopped. There you see Johnson returning to the track. Can tell you Boris said was running 19th when he spun, fell to 32nd.
All right, bud, remember pit road speed starts all the way around the corner to the yellow line.
3,400 first, 3,400 first, after the 07 car.
And pit road speed, when he said he's able to come around just like he's racing right now, because pit road speed starts right there. That's where pit road, even though they used to make it start way on the other side, and it killed you to come in the pits. But Tony run that corner just then, just like he was running on the racetrack. He was just in another groove.
Jimmy Johnson too fast entering pit road.
That's tough right there. Yeah. Because where we just showed Tony coming in, that's where the 48 got caught. Yeah.
Matt.
And Tony Stewart pitting just the first stall on the turn 1 side of the scoring tower. Now Stewart, his biggest complaint, forward bite. He's away. Good stop by the 14 guys. Air pressure change. He said he was wicked loose the first 2 laps of that run.
Casey Kane is scored as the race leader. 31 laps about to be completed. There's Kane in that number 9 Budweiser car.
And here's a guy. Some mileage. Yeah, here's a guy that got no mileage last week. Yeah. No mileage last week. So obviously, the guys in the engine department over there at RPM have worked on carburetors. Bill Pink and those guys, they spend a lot of time working on carburetors for fuel mileage.
But they're not running that.
Hey guys, that's the reason he's still out there, because he needs to get a little deeper into this run before he makes that stop. If you look at the 4 cars that's not pitted, 3 of them are Richard Petty Motorsports cars. They need to get to about lap 32 to where they can make it on one more stop.
And Larry, that's not the new Dodge engine, right?
It is not, but they still do not get as good a fuel mileage. But the problem, Bill, when you look at Casey Kane, Ryan Newman, Elliott Sadler, who I think just hit pit road, Reed Sorensen, they're sweating bullets right now. If a caution comes out, they're dead in the water because they've got to come to pit road. All these other guys will be in front of them.
See, Larry, this is where crew chiefs confuse me. You're telling me he's running farther because he gets worse fuel mileage.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm confused. I don't need to quit.
He's got to get there to be able to make it on one more stop.
And it makes perfect sense.
But how do you get there if you have bad fuel mileage?
But because he knows they can run about 38 laps, they still could go another 6 or 8 laps, Wally, but they've got to get to a point to where they can make it on one more stop, and they're not quite there yet.
This is a racy little bunch right here. Did you get all that?
No. And I'm sure Larry's right, but I just don't got it. I'll tell you, that was
close right there. Yeah. You saw the 11 car try to stuff it up in a place that nobody passes. That's not a place you pass unless the guy gives you some room. And Ryan Newman was not going to give him any room right there.
But as the race goes on, you're going to see these guys are going to have to get ugly with each other in order to force the moves because you only have 2 spots. Here's one of them. But when you're getting down there to the end, you're going to see these guys putting in places that they normally wouldn't.
Ryan Newman heads for his pit stall. You got him, Ralph.
Ryan Newman is getting ready to make his way down pit road. They're going to drop the right side air pressure and the track bar down. 4 tires and fuel. He's been very loose in the S's. He feels like he's been losing a lot of time over there. Said earlier on the radio, I feel like I'm getting killed through the S's.
Boy, it takes a long time to get over there. See the 43 being pushed down pit road. To find out what happened to him.
Did you hear that? Man, he was on the gas on that thing. And they drop it. And you know, Wally and I talk about this, and you hear these cars leave. You heard the RPM. He was up in the RPM band trying to get that thing revving. So when he dropped the clutch, it's like setting at a stoplight and starting from a stoplight in your street car in 2nd or 3rd gear. That's how hard it is for these guys to get these things going. And they don't have time to get them chugging going because that's even harder on a drivetrain.
Here comes Casey Kane.
3,700 first.
Another one, a long drive to you, Ralph.
Oh, and it seems like forever for these guys to come down pit lane. I'll tell you, one of the guys who's having the hardest part with that is the poor gas man sitting here on the wall with that huge gas can just sitting on their shoulders waiting for the car to get to him. It is a brutal task, and then you have to stand up off the wall and go run to the car and throw the fuel in. Casey Kane's car is tight in turn 4. That seems to be the only problem he's talking about. So they're just going to make an air pressure adjustment to fix that, pitting on lap 33 right when they had planned on it, Bill.
Good job, Ralph. Come around to the left side on that Budweiser Dodge.
And they are going to pack that thing with fuel. They're going to make sure.
And he stalled it.
I'm telling you, these guys are hard. The first gears in these cars are so tall. It's hard to explain. Kyle Chuck did a good job, but it's just hard to explain. Even when you drop the clutch, the thing wants a stall. It's like starting in 3rd gear instead of 1st gear. It's the best way to.
Yeah, it's not even like starting in 2nd gear. Yeah. It's like starting in 3rd gear because these guys, you know, their 1st gear, they're carrying 40 or 50 miles an hour through these corners in 1st gear, and that's not like starting from 0.
Denny Hamlin is the race leader. Then it's Kurt Busch, Marcos Ambrose, who was 3rd in qualifying, has had a fast car here all weekend, had a nightmare day on Saturday, had to start at the rear of the field, now runs 3rd.
And this is, you know, some of the strategies, you know, Larry was talking about. If you can time it right and you can get these cautions to come out at the right time for you, it's all a gamble. You are throwing the dice on this stuff all the time as far as coming in early, coming in late. Right now, Marcos is sitting in a great spot. Now, I'm not sure how much further he can go or how many more laps he can go.
He can go for a while.
Probably about 20.
Yeah. We'll see how it plays out. Under green in Sonoma.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wakeboard Challenge. Here comes our first run.
Coming in, heel side 540, nice.
Well, let's see what Team Fault can do. Check out this guy.
Coming in heel side 540, very nice.
Let's check that on the slow-mo.
He's got great rotation. It's a rear hand rainbow trout grab. And it looks like he saved a little puppy.
I think that's a Chihuahua, Tom.
Ay, caramba, Jimbo. That's incredible.
Vault, all the quench with an extra kick for those who get it done.
And then some.
Hope he has that insurance. You really need these days.
How come?
Well, if you're hurt and can't work, it pays you cash.
Yeah, to help with everyday bills. Like gas, the mortgage.
And groceries!
It's like insurance for daily living.
Mm-hmm. So what's it called?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Aflac, we've got you under our wing.
What a great event to drive to.
Especially on new Fuel Max tires.
Introducing Goodyear Fuel Max tires. An innovative tread compound saves you 2,600 miles worth of gas over the life of the tires.
2,600 miles.
Now that would be a long race.
Goodyear. Get there.
You give your sport 100%, so should your sunscreen. Toad Sport is 100% sunscreen. Neutrogena is 28% chemical propellant. Coppertone gives you better protective coverage. Waterproof, sweatproof. Coppertone Sport 100%.
You're watching NASCAR Hotpass, exclusively on DirecTV and brought to you by New Shell Nitrogen-Enriched Gasoline.
Filling up with nitrogen-enriched Shell gasoline, it contains a cleaning system that seeks and destroys the engine gunk left by lower quality gasoline. Then it acts as a barrier that protects engines from performance-robbing gunk.
She's trying to wreck me.
Quit your whining, Harvick.
Yes! Winner! Kevin, everyone's a winner with new nitrogen-enriched Shell gasoline.
So new Fuel Max tires help you save 2,600 miles worth of gas.
That's right.
Imagine if this race was 2,600 miles long.
We need a whole lot more popcorn.
Denny Hamlin is the race leader here in Sonoma. 36 laps are complete. We can tell you the 43 pushed back to the garage with a broken track bar for Reed Sorensen. NASCAR fans, let's look at this week's standings for the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award. Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. continue to lead. Fans, don't forget to cast your vote for the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award from your AT&T phone. Text in the car number for the pit crew you think is the fastest and most valuable in each race to 2258. The AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award delivered by AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network.
Well, you just saw Kurt Busch overtake Denny Hamlin, and Denny Hamlin just got out of his way. Pulled over to the side, said, "Yep, you're in my mirrors, and I know you're faster, so you go ahead and give it a shot."
And you know, but this is one of those places where you can use up all your equipment at this point in time in the race. This race, even though these guys run with...
Wow. He really locked the right front up there.
Even though and here comes Denny back. Yeah. It's like, okay, if you don't want to lead, I'll lead then. Okay, let me go.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, even though these guys run like their tongues are hanging out every lap, these guys drive really hard. You still got to have something there at the end if it comes down to a green-white checkered or a 10-lap sprint race.
But I'll tell you what, you can use your equipment up worse by mirror driving.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing. Once you get in the lead, you start running harder, and you start looking in that mirror, and that's when you start making mistakes and locking tires up.
So when I used to drive 100 years ago,
you run a lot of 195s, now you're at a 198. That's about a second faster than you were in traffic. Stewart's a little about a half second faster. He's going to be the leader when it cycles around. 2 cars behind you.
You see him drift out. He's already picked his mark. You never drive off the hood of these cars.
Yeah.
You drive way out, and here's another spin. That's the second time Bobby's been out through there. Probably not of his making either.
Well, 150 years ago when I was driving, Kyle, I used to not run a really big mirror on the road courses just for the fact because I didn't want to know what was there.
We're about to go lap down.
And you bring up a good point here.
No, we're running 13.
That's not the point.
No, I'm saying the ones in front of you haven't pitted yet.
Don't use spotters here like you use on the ovals. On the ovals, you hear the spotters inside, outside. Guys looking to the peak, or peeking here, peeking there. These guys don't use
That's a 122. Stewart is the first car who has pitted for 4 tires.
So
you are the leader when it cycles.
That they have to do that they're good with it because they're professional drivers and they're the best in the business, but you're just not used to it.
Just to show you how wacky these races can play out, right now Tony Stewart is 15th after leading, Kyle Busch 16th, and Matt Kenseth is up to 4th, and Lindsay, they got some kind of a game plan, huh?
Well, they do have a game plan, Bill, and they're really honestly trying to barter. In fact, Matt Kenseth, I think, would like to bring his car in now because he's got a tire run in the right rear, but he's trying to work things out. As crew chief says, that's not exactly what he wants him to do. Listen in.
You got to save us 3 laps, Matt. If you can save us 3 laps, that's going to get us close to our window. Can you do it? 3 laps or 2 cautions, Matt. Can you help us out there? 3 laps, including the cautions.
Doing awesome on the
3
pit.
laps. You need to save us 3 laps in this run. Include that extra caution. The extra caution lap. You need to save us 3 laps.
Larry,
Keep doing all you can. Keep doing all you can. Those guys got about 6 lap pressure tires than you. 14's really the only one coming. You'll be all right.
That's an awful lot to save. And what I'll say now, you know, we're roughly a third of the way through this race. And it just looks like that we're not getting a lot of cautions. Now look at Ambrose sitting there who pitted on lap 12. You know, we talked about it. He's looking, if he wants to make this a 2-stop race, he's got to run 49 laps. But I think when I look at Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, that all pitted on lap 22, what they've got to do if they want to make this a 2-stop race is they've got to get to lap 66. They've got to run 44 laps per run, which I think for some of these guys is definitely doable. But we know guys like Tony Stewart, like Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, those guys that pitted later on under green, we know they can make it on one more stop. Yeah, I don't think you'll win this race making 3 stops.
But my point is, Larry, that you're talking about saving 3 laps. That's 5 or 6 gallons.
Well, when you figure, Wally, that it's roughly 2 miles around this racetrack, and they're getting about 4.6 miles to the gallon. If you kind of do the math there, that's asking to save a lot. But if you go back to last week, look at how much fuel those guys save.
Yeah, but this is a different animal.
It is, because you're rolling off the gas so much.
Yeah, you can save gas at Pocono. You can save gas at Michigan. You can't save that kind of gas on a road course because you're on
Wally, I have learned after 30 years, never say never.
I'm not saying never say never. I'm saying that you can't save as much.
Okay.
I don't think you can save as much fuel on a road course as you can on an oval. There's too much on and off the throttle, and you're up gears, down gears. It's just, you know, if you're going to save a lot of gas on a road course, you're going to be 2 or 3 seconds a lap slower, and you're going to be getting run over.
But we almost know a lot of these guys are going to have to get up there to about lap 64 to 5. If we see them get to that point, we know they're probably in good shape.
We were just on board with Carl Edwards. He's in 8th. Boris Said has worked his way back to 9th. Hamlin leads at Sonoma.
Working on Carl's signature move was not going well.
Oh, dude.
Then we were eating Subway sandwiches, and that was it. He's been doing it ever since.
Nothing fuels Carl Edwards like a sweet onion chicken teriyaki. The flavor he wants, the fuel he needs.
Subway. Eat fresh.
What project are you working on today?
This.
We can help you with that.
Thanks. I'm just starting out, so I'm kind of on a budget.
We're good with budgets. You'll need one of these, at least. Pit crew.
Okay.
Crew chief.
Cool.
Read this. And you'll need an owner. I recommend this one.
What about fans?
What do you say we start with 300,000 and go from there?
Whoa.
Helping people do more than they ever thought possible. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Nanomolecular what? A force field that prevents sludge.
Tired of the claims? Get a guarantee. Only Valvoline guarantees your engine up to 300,000 miles. Get Valvoline. Get guaranteed.
Geico's been saving people money on car insurance for over 70 years. And who doesn't want value for their dollar? Been true since the day I made my first dollar. Where is that dollar? I got it out to show you.
Was it rather old and wrinkly?
Yeah, you saw it?
Fancy a crisp?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Brilliant little microbes that turn everyday crops into renewably sourced fabrics and plastics. Things that build safer cities the world over, and Mars-going crafts called rovers. Super small motors and gears, greener buildings, safer safety gear, lighter weight cars, and fuel-saving jets. For you and me and a healthier planet. All this and more from DuPont.
WWE on pay-per-view. You should have been there.
From enigma to icon, from daredevil to champion.
The risk that's worth all the reward.
Tombstone, oh my, 17-0.
The undefeated streak. At the Bash, the pay-per-view tradition continues. The Bash, live Sunday, June 28th on DirecTV pay-per-view. WWE, the best value in pay-per-view entertainment.
42 laps are complete here in Sonoma. Denny Hamlin is the race leader, chased by Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano up to 4th. David Reagan is 5th. Elliott Sadler has had an off-track excursion just a moment ago. We can show you that.
Yeah, this is coming through turn 10, leading onto the last corner, and he just missed his mark just a little bit. And Kyle and I were talking in the break. Real lucky. We've seen guys really wad race cars up going off in that corner.
Yeah, wad race cars. I've seen practice shut down for about an hour while you get the car from between the wall and the tires that are out there. Who is this?
Rudeman. You saw on the well, I'll tell you what happened. This isn't his favorite place.
Down there, jump the curb, got into you.
So that Elliott Sadler was on pit road. He has been black flagged to come back and get some of that damage repaired. There's Rudeman.
Oh, and you see the 48 all the way on the other side of the curb.
Yeah, that wasn't really Rudeman's fault on that one. That was the 48's fault.
Yeah,
very good.
The 48 got in there and committed, and then he went all the way to the other side of the curb almost. So that was not David's fault, whether he likes the place or not.
And the 48's back there because of that speeding penalty.
Because he had a speeding penalty, and he had a speeding penalty under green. You know, a lot of times you get the question, why is one penalty different than the other penalty? Some happen under caution, some happen under green. Under caution, it's okay. You just go to the end of the longest line, and that's the way it's been, you know, unless they've changed it. But that's where you go. You go because the race is not going. But when you get a green flag speeding penalty, it at an oval, it's a nail in your coffin. That's the way it is. Here, it's not that bad, but he is back in traffic.
Matt, what are you working on?
Bill down in the 14 with Tony Stewart started 4th. He's led last, but it's kind of a combo platter of work in progress. Not only talking about the handling of the car, which had made some improvements, but also fuel mileage.
Great there, bud. If we don't get a yellow in 3 or 4, I'm gonna have to start backing you up a couple hundred RPM. We need a lap. We need a lap out of this run.
I'm turning as good as everybody in front of me. Our fuel mileage didn't come out quite like we planned there, but we're going to keep working on it here.
Goes back to the balance that they've worked on all weekend with this 14 car. They've been trying to find more fuel mileage, detuning the motor. It's just that fine line, that balance, Wally, Bill, and KP.
Right behind him, the 24 of Jeff Gordon. Marty, you're watching the 24 today?
Yeah, Bill, this is very interesting. We have a couple of races going on, as you guys have mentioned. The guys up front that pitted at lap 22, the guys behind, Gordon and Stewart, that pitted at lap 28. So really, this could be the battle for the lead between Stewart and Gordon back here. Just radioed from Steve Letarte to Jeff Gordon in about 3 laps. They're going to back you down some RPMs, going to have to save some fuel. Even these guys who pitted on lap 28, thinking about saving fuel, as Matt just mentioned with Tony Stewart as well, in the middle part of this run, so they can be good for the last part of the run. That's all that math that Larry Mack was confusing us with earlier, guys.
These things really can turn out in a strange fashion.
And there's multiple races going on here.
Sure there are.
While we're talking about this race, there's guys up front. We had Casey Kane, who stayed out longer than anybody else to get in the fuel window, so he's at the back of the pack now trying to get caught back up.
Take us around there, WD.
Well, let Jeff take us around. Going up to turn 1 here. And we talked about earlier, these guys are shifting a lot because of the gear rule and things that they have to work with. They're shifting actually a lot less than they used to. I believe, was he in second gear right there?
He pulled back last time, so I'm going to say second.
Right there. And he leaves it in second when we're watching him practice anyway, all the way until turn 7, which is through this right-hander and the next right-hander.
And you can watch the RPMs. There he goes to first.
Yeah, then he goes to first. But it used to be we would have made 5 or 6 gear shifts by that time.
But as they developed the transmissions and the engines, these engines will pull better at 2,500 to like 9 or 10,000, whatever they pull to 9,000 or so. Unlike they used to, we had to keep them in the RPM band.
Right.
The RPM band is so much wider, and the torque band is so much wider. These guys have a lot more room to work. But that's why they use first gear also.
Now, before we went to commercial, we were talking about Marcos Ambrose, who was running in the top 5. He pitted on lap 41, so the 47 car currently runs 26th. And they're really going to need some help here to get back up front. See how that works out for Marcos. Denny Hamlin leads by 2 seconds in Sonoma.
It gives the world
fewer smog-forming emissions. It gives you a 50 mile per gallon rating. The third generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
Adaptive friction extinguishers and hypertronic wear resistors? Seriously? I use one that offers an engine guarantee. Yeah.
Only Valvoline guarantees your engine up to 300,000 miles. Get Valvoline. Get guaranteed.
And today's guest, we have Whopper Jr. for $1.
Stuck.
He's so big, he's stuck. We're gonna need a little help. Why don't you get in there? Get no, that's not gonna help.
Whopper Jr. is only $1. King value at Burger King.
Superstore. Real gear, real fast.
NASCAR Hotpass is brought to you by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles. See them at your local dealer or visit PolarisIndustries.com.
The fastest accelerating, most agile side-by-side in the world. The Red Hot Ranger Razor. Nothing else comes close. Razor sharp performance. See it up close at your local Polaris Ranger dealer.
TNT Sports back at the road course in Sonoma. Fans want more TNT coverage. The Coke Zero in-car camera on Race Buddy lets you vote for and ride shotgun with Coca-Cola racing family drivers. Check out the Coke Zero in-car camera on NASCAR.com's
half as much
Race
as that
Buddy.
lap. We don't need quite that much, but half that much, whatever you're doing, is
That's
great.
Clint Boyer's look out the front bumper.
Clint's given us some good shots. I mean, he's been up on the curb. He's been in the back of somebody. he's been a little bit of everywhere.
in the wrong direction.
Yeah, but he's given us some good shots today. You got to give it to him.
Inside.
That camera's made it through 49 laps so far. That's pretty good.
It's a great shot. I love that shot.
I can tell you that Reed Sorensen has returned to the race. He is 14 laps down in the 43 car. Now the 1 is Martin Truex Jr. The 71 is Gilliland. That's basically a loaner or a rented car from Truex.
Yeah, the TRG guys had some trouble. Here's the 71 to Gilliland.
There's
one guy on the track that you don't want to get into, and it's either your teammate or the guy that lent you a car. And it's just Murphy's Law. It always works out that way.
Yeah, here, buddy, I'm going to give you $100,000
You got the 42
race
behind
car,
you. There's a pretty
and then
big
I'm
gap
gonna
back to the
run into
next
you
guy.
with it, okay? That's the way it works. But that's
And that wasn't on purpose.
No, not at all.
David got in there hot, and those guys have struggled. I mean, they really had a lot of hope for this weekend, and David kind of did a bonehead move in practice and had to borrow this car.
1.99 miles.
Yeah, let's talk about what happened in practice. And what happened, I'm sure David was coming out of the pits. John Andretti's in front of him. David's probably looking at his gauges or doing stuff that he's not paying attention, and just clobbered John, who was trying to come out on the track and not getting these other guys' way. And I mean, it ruined that 71 car.
And I want to say something here. That can happen to anybody. Jeff Gordon did the same thing to Bobby Hamilton driving for the 43 team at Atlanta.
That's right.
On an oval track. back, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago. And you do. You get to looking at gauges, tightening your belts one last time. Somebody's talking to you, you just lose focus.
David told me this morning he thought he saw Andretti go, so he thought he was clear, and he was looking in the mirror, watching for the traffic to go by because it's so hard to merge at that point.
But how many times have you been sitting at a stop sign, looking to the left, and the car in front of you think it drove off?
No comment. No comment.
Yeah, no comment from me either. That's what I'm saying.
Last week I had to do a whoa, Bill. Trust me, it was close.
Look at Montoya here.
Gordon runs in the 15th position. Montoya right behind him. Marty?
Yeah, Bill, last 2 laps, Jeff Gordon's lost 4 positions only because Steve Letarte told him to back off. Remember, we told you he was going to say that at some point. That happened while we were in commercial, actually, and Gordon backed off immediately. In about 2 seconds, he's saving per lap, trying to gain 1 lap of fuel under green. So playing the strategy, letting people go by.
All kinds of strategy. Take a look at today's UPS maximum driver. Juan Pablo Montoya has 3 top 6 finishes, including 1 win in his 4 career road course races. This race season, look for David Reagan to take on the delivery drivers of UPS in maximum driver. It's Hamlin, Kurt Busch, and Matt Kenseth running 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Joey Logano runs 4th, and right behind him is Boris Said. Now, this is Said as a road course racing veteran. This is a one-off for him. Points don't matter. He's really here, A, to get in the race, and then B, to win it. Then you got the guy in front of him, Logano, in his 1st road course race in a Sprint Cup Series car.
And you kind of got to give a shout out to both of them. I think Joey has done a great job. I watched him race with some guys that were just wearing his rear bumper out, and he just kept running his line and running his pace. You look at the 08, what they say about in Europe, when you drive a car under anger for the first time, or it's a European phase. Let me tell you, once he got spun out, he's been driving at anger ever since he got spun out down there. He's trying to catch back up.
How about it, Ralph?
Well, here's a nightmare with a race like this. On the one hand, crew chief Frankie Stoddard tells Boris, okay, you got 15 more laps to go before we pit. So I need you to go 7/8 throttle through there, ease it up, get me some fuel back. And then all of a sudden he goes, go get him, cowboy. So now what do you do?
Hey, Ralph, are you hearing, are these guys saying anything about the brakes at this point? Noticing, you know, Boris is pumping the brake pedal, and sometimes that almost comes automatic on a road car. So are they commenting on brakes at all?
Allmendinger had just gotten his lap back.
Oh. Yeah, Denny had him locked up. Wow. There's not a whole lot he could do on that.
Tell me how we're doing. Doing good, bud. You're doing good. Just stick right in that pocket you're in. That's doing it. Stay right there.
Up and down pit road is just one person complaining about brakes, and it was very brief. And that was Marcus Ambrose, who just said a while back, my brakes are
21.6. That's about perfect.
Just saying they're a little soft. That's the only thing I've heard.
Marcos runs in the 19th position. Mark Martin is 20th. It's Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, then Boris Said, the top 5 with 52 complete at Sonoma.
Bill Engvall's really come out of nowhere, Jimmy. He's only 3 cars out with 4 laps to go.
Watch out, Billy. You've got number 12 coming up behind you on the outside.
Don't worry about it, Ricky. I'm all over it.
Bill, honey, you're driving too close. Hey, get off his bumper!
Hey, I thought this was my dream.
The Bill Engvall Show is back.
That'll give us a nice breeze while we're working.
Get together for the new season premiere, Saturday, July 18th, only on TBS.
Honey, I think you gotta turn here.
Very funny.
Lose the rain.
Roger that.
No rain, no rainbows.
Could you tell us what's going on? Yeah, the cake is en route, the tulips just arrived, and the groom is...
He's getting cold feet.
I'm okay. No, I'm not.
Look, we gotta go now. The light's perfect.
I need the stunt groom now. What's a stunt groom?
Jackpot. Get work done now. Nextel Direct Connect with GPS tracking. Only on the Now Network. Special sauce, let us see
Big Mac, you so want one.
Sometimes the best way to get closer is to get as far away from it all as possible. Don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. Ready to talk to your doctor? Find out how at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. 20 million men have had the Viagra conversation. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Moments that change the game. Brought to you by Viagra. June 22nd, 2003. Infineon Raceway, Robbie Gordon started second. He led 81 laps and beat Jeff Gordon by half a second for the victory. That was Robbie's last top 10 finish at this track. He also won at Watkins Glen that year.
But all the
for
guys
a
in front of
road
them haven't
course
pitted.
sweep.
They pitted. I don't know. They're completely off sequence. I'm not sure what they're doing. I'm confused.
TNT Sports
I
back
had you
at
in the
Sonoma
14 to
under
become the leader, but
caution for
not
debris.
So just pit.
You
Go
see
figure
the
it out.
safety
Don't worry.
worker?
Pit.
Easy there.
He had to wait a while, too, because of all the traffic, all the cars going by.
Okay, and I know that doesn't look like a lot. Okay, and you're sitting at home saying that doesn't look like a lot of debris. Notice where it was at.
14,
right
I believe,
next to the
coming
curb.
too.
That's where those guys are running. That's right dead in the groove, right with their left front tire, right as they come through there. So that's an important thing. You can't have, we run off the racetrack.
All the way around. Come all the way around hard. Keep coming.
AJ
All the way around to the yellow
is
line.
the lucky dog.
All the way
Tony
around. All right,
Stewart is among the cars headed for pit road.
4 tires. Come on down.
Marty,
Come
Jeff
on
Gordon's
down.
headed for you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pit here, Steve Letarte made the call. This is the same strategy they used last time. Take your tires here. They'll run about 15 laps or so. Come back in for fuel. Then they'll decide whether they take tires that time. Matt?
Jeff Gooch Patterson inserts the dry brake, fueling up the 14 car. Now, they were a few laps short, very close on mileage. They felt like they might be a couple laps short of making it. A one more stop. They were hoping for a caution and one more chance. He's away.
You're clear. You get them all finished.
Casey Kane making a pit stop in the number 9. He just radioed in and told the guys, this is the greatest car I have ever had at this racetrack. I don't know if it's fast
And if
enough,
I'd have known
but
that
it's the
was
best
gonna,
handling
you
car
know,
I've ever
be that
had.
much
They're very
trouble, I
happy.
just
Very
didn't
minor
know.
adjustments, 4 tires of fuel.
Good luck on
and
tunnel,
you'll
right?
be away.
Wow, Jimmy Johnson getting out of his pit stall in a hurry.
Ooh, almost too much of a hurry. He got nailed on that last time.
That's right. Kevin Harvick also on pit road, and you see some of the other guys that have made their stops under this caution. We'll reset the running order. They'll get one to go next time by under caution at Sonoma. This is NASCAR on TNT.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wakeboard Challenge. Here comes our first run. Coming in, heel side 540, nice. Let's see what Team Fault can do. Check out this guy. Coming in heel side 540, very nice. Let's check that on the slow-mo. He's got great rotation, but it's a rear hand rainbow trout grab. And it looks like he saved a little puppy. I think that's a chihuahua, Tom. Ay, caramba, Jimbo. That's incredible. Fault, all the quench with an extra kick for those who get it done. And then some. Start your engine.
This guy waited 8 years for his. He won him in a high-stakes poker match. She took him instead of alimony. He camped out for 4 days. For more than 2 decades, tickets to the night race have been darn near impossible to get. But you can get tickets to the Sharpie 500 Sprint Cup race right now by calling 423-BRISTOL. You heard right. Night race tickets available now at 423-BRISTOL.
Brilliant little microbes that turn everyday crops into renewably sourced fabrics and plastics. Things that build safer cities the world over, and Mars-going crafts called rovers. Super small motors and gears, greener buildings, safer safety gear, lighter weight cars, and fuel-saving jets. For you and me and a healthier planet. All this and more from DuPont.
This is a very complicated bill from the phone company. It's like a puzzle that's not fun to play. Bills don't have to be this complicated. That's why I have Time Warner Cable. Their bills are simple. Who can understand something like this? You'd have to be like some sort of genius. Hey, Martin, what is a subscriber line charge?
You aren't me.
Martin doesn't know. Martin did my taxes.
Simple bills. The phone company doesn't have them. Time Warner Cable does. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Short on fuel, praying for some yellows. We got a chunk in the middle of them that pitted with us. They're real close, and now we're way good on fuel. So it's all going to come down to when do we want to pit this next time, you know, whether we want to start a short pitted or long pitted or what.
Obviously, we need clean air. I mean,
the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series rocking and rolling here at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma,
Lap time-wise, short of the 14, you were good. If I would have never talked to you, you'd have stayed, I think, in front of that 18 for a while.
This race be a
so
double file restart shootout style with Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch up front. What are you laughing at?
The title of our restarts. This is no double file, okay?
They're double
easier
file.
on you.
Shootout style.
Jeff Gordon too fast entering pit road. We'll have to restart at the rear of the field. Log on to NASCAR.com now and watch up to 4 live camera angles at once with the TNT Race Buddy Mosaic View. TNT Race Buddy, he hangs out at NASCAR.com.
I got about 3 more behind you there, Jeff.
Here's today's field summary at the halfway mark. Just a couple of cautions.
That could be. I'm anxious to see. I think Kurt Busch is going to give Hamlin a run here up into turn 1. Somebody's going to make it.
The only option we got right now is that we're on new tires and everybody else hopefully is as good as us. We're just going to have to go like hell.
At least.
Try to hit the next caution right.
Are the 2 cars out of the race.
We missed this caution last year too, so we're fine. We come back to 3rd. So make sure we get it better for you and go like hell.
Now, I'm going to tell you, that 2's been knocking on that door. He would run up and catch him and then kind of back up and let his car breathe. And it's like, he's not really a lot faster than the 11, it doesn't appear, but he's faster in different places. So it's like if he could get out and get in front of him, keep him trapped on the outside, he might be able to do something.
If he can get a good jump, it's just he's still smoking that right front. I don't know if that's a brake bias thing or what's going on there, but Lindsay, what's Kurt saying?
Well, right now on the radio, he's saying that it's vibrating a little bit like crazy. And he's happy, though, because they're going to pit in 11 laps. That's the plan. And he said if we do that, it's right by our fuel window, which is about 66. So, in essence, he is right where they want to be. 10 more, he'll be in, is what they say.
Very good.
Coming to the green.
All right, well, we'll see if, like I said, I think Kurt's going to give it a shot anyway.
Cars off.
Top 18 cars, if I read this correctly. 19 cars did not stop. Top 19 did not stop. Jeff Gordon is the second to last in line after the speeding penalty on pit road. Inside lane for Hamlin. Everybody hang on.
Couldn't do it. I think he spun the tires. It looked like the 2 spun the tires when it got to green. He's all over him, though.
Checking up on the hill.
They got bottled up behind him there.
The 77 rooted Horace out of the way there just a little bit, but then couldn't capitalize on it. Oh, look at
26 with Murray. Dropped the wheel, but he got back on. No harm, no foul.
Boy, Carl Edwards all over Hornish.
All right, now we're gonna get jamming up here.
Right side. Coming right side 99.
Oh, there we go.
Go to the inside. Go to the inside. Inside.
Is that the 02 possibly?
Brandon
Ash.
Got one.
I'll tell you, when you saw him go through that one area there, side by side, that's like getting 2 cars and running start for a garage stall and trying to get them both through there and the garage at the same time.
Come on through.
He was running in the top 20.
We got some more dirt flying up there, and that looks like Mark Martin might be in a little bit of trouble.
Might be in more trouble.
Yeah, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
He
must have a
going
tire
down in front of you. That's
he must have a tire issue.
Flat tire, left
Way
rear.
slow.
Got to be a rear tire. Look how high the valence is off the ground. Look how right rear.
Trying to get over.
You could see how high the valence was, and poor, the 29 car Harvick. Harvick had no place to go.
He got clobbered. That's why the right rear's down. Somebody got into him hard.
Yeah, he got that tire driven off the wheel. Somebody got into him and just knocked the tire off the wheel.
There you see, clean there. I think that was the Brandon Nash situation. And then the next corner is where Mark got drilled.
And Brendan's an innocent guy in this case. He was on the outside. Tony just stuffed it down in there 3 wide and pinned him. Well, there you see. 17.
That's Matt Kenseth.
And Kenseth drilled him.
17 drives back across, and then 17's trying to spin and get going again. He runs in the back of Mark.
Let's go on board with Kevin Harvick.
Slow on the right.
Oh, that's already Mark's in trouble there.
Yep.
Clear.
Nothing like getting hit when you have a right rear flat. Boy,
Yeah,
that's fun
and turning you over and turning you that way, so you're on that right rear. That's incredible. But Kevin just got down in there and couldn't go anywhere.
Down to pit road.
And guys, the tire from Mark Martin's car here, and amazing that he was able to limp this thing back home because they had to pit here on lap 57. Mark Martin will be 11 laps short, and they had just gotten the car to where Mark wanted it, of course, and now they're going to be way short on fuel.
Yeah, Mark's, I don't even know. I'll have to get Larry in on this one. I don't know if Mark's got a strategy now that can get him the track position.
We saw Matt Kenseth go around. He fell from 3rd to 36th. And Mark Martin currently runs in the 39th position. There's your leader, Denny Hamlin.
Man, those Gibbs cars pour some black smoke. They look like diesels. Watch the 11 car, especially when it comes to turn 1. There's a lot of black smoke that comes out of that exhaust pipe.
Love that camera.
That's a great shot right there.
And it's let me just say, it's a lot closer than it looks too. When even the shot that we're seeing from it, you're right out there on that wall, man.
Behind Hamlin is Kurt Busch, and then it was then you'll find the 2 drivers we talked about. Boris Said, the veteran, in the 08, and Joey Logano, the rookie, in the 20 car, the Home Depot ride.
And we haven't talked about the 77 much either. He's in 5th spot. Cornish is doing a pretty good job, and he was another one of those cars, like I said, in final practice, was running hard. Him and Montoya.
Montoya in the 42, then Brian Vickers, the pole sitter, and Earnhardt Jr. behind them.
And we hadn't talked a lot about Earnhardt Jr.
Inside.
Wow, that's impressive to try to make an out-braking move on Montoya.
And Earnhardt was going to try and follow him through, couldn't get it done. Boy, that's impressive to pass Juan.
No kidding.
Marty?
Yeah, Juan Pablo Montoya just now radioing Brian Patty, saying I need a little more forward bite. Very calm in the car. He has not said much about the chassis today, trying to figure out this fuel strategy. They're going to pit about lap 68 with a lot of other guys on pit road as well.
It's about 9 laps from now.
I'm going to tell you, Junior's wearing his rear bumper out right here.
He is.
He's inside, he's outside. And this is something that I don't expect a lot from Junior, because I've never seen him show me much on the road course. I'm just going to be honest and throw that out there. But he's doing a pretty good job today. Started 35th, drove up a lot of positions.
I don't think Junior's ever had a top 10 on a road course.
Yeah, he has struggled, at a lot of places. And remember, he was burned in that accident out here running some stuff.
Right.
It's not something that he enjoys doing, but I got to give him a thumbs up on this one. You can race with Montoya and kind of wear his rear bumper out if you're doing something.
Now, did he stop and get tires, the 88? Is he on fresh tires?
No,
you
the
guys
88
know
last
that?
stopped
No.
on lap 30.
Okay. He and Montoya are pretty much on equal tires right here. So there's Carl right behind him. But these cars, the top 10 is a pretty decent group of cars right there. You see 47 jumping on the inside of the 18 right here.
42, and he's looking underneath Montoya. Not going to give him a whole lot of room, but almost.
Larry?
Bill, there's no question the fastest car on the racetrack right now is Marcos Ambrose in that 47 car. And I think the reason, remember, he pitted under green at lap 41, so his tires are about 20 laps fresher than everybody he's racing. I think what Frankie Kerr, his crew chief, and Marcos will have to do here is we're going to see all these guys he's racing right now come to pit road shortly. He's trying to make as much ground as he can on these fresher tires, but I don't think he can stay out there long after those guys hit pit road, because then the role will be reversed. I think once those guys come, they can't be far behind.
these guys are really
Oh! Cornish goes around off the front of Kyle Busch and got him back.
And Kyle Busch.
Still behind.
Locked up that light.
And then Kyle Busch falls forward and gets into the side of the 83 as he pulls off.
But Kyle Busch just got in there a little bit too hot, and he locked up that right front, and he just slid into the corner.
And we see the damage on the 18 right here. Did that come from the spin, or did that come when he tried to gas up and run into the side of the 83? Now we see the 83.
Vickers is off.
But he got run into he got run into that right rear quarter panel, just like we saw some of the other guys.
He's got something broke, or flat. Let's take a look here. He gets in hot, and he just slides straight. He can't turn the car because he's got the right front locked. Spins around, and couldn't tell who gave that shot there. But watch, he can't turn the car. When you got the right front locked like that, it's really hard to turn the car. So Cornish gets clobbered. Now watch the right
83
front.
right here.
83 breaks there, goes to the inside. And then watch him get knocked off. Boom, right there.
And that's why he's got either something broken in the right rear, or he's got a flat right rear, the 83 car.
That's the pole sitter, Brian Vickers. So Denny Hamlin leads, Kurt Busch is second, then Boris Said, Marcus Ambrose. Joey Logano's in that fourth spot, in between them. Wow, it's starting to get wild at Sonoma.
TNT, July 15th.
I run a special unit. No one knows about us.
As an undercover cop, Lieutenant Carter Shaw doesn't play by the rules.
I should have a penitentiary named after him.
He makes them.
Two things to know about Carter. There's nothing he wouldn't do to protect us. And there's nothing he wouldn't do to get his man.
From Jerry Bruckheimer, Dylan McDermott.
What can I do for the Federal Bureau of Intimidation?
Dark Blue. New series premiere Wednesday, July 15th at 10 on TNT.
When you get greasy fast food, what are you really getting? Try a tempting new Tuscan chicken melt instead. Part of a Subway Fresh Fit meal. Subway, eat fresh.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season.
You get more power and more space. The world gets fewer smog-forming emissions. The third-generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
Where's the car?
Aflac, official partner of NASCAR.
I knew it!
I think that possibly, maybe I'm falling for you. Yes, there's a chance that I've fallen quite hard over you. I've seen the waters that make your eyes shine.
More bars in more places. AT&T, the best coverage worldwide. Get the BlackBerry Bolt for $199.99 after mail-in rebate, only from AT&T.
So a guy calls us and he starts asking me all these questions about televisions, the differences between LCDs and plasmas, 10,000 versus a 15,000 contrast ratio. Those are very specific questions. So I asked him, where are you calling from? He's like, I'm at Walmart. And I'm like, okay, you're obviously calling us because we're knowledgeable, and then we've got the price match guarantee. So why don't you come on in and we'll get you set up with exactly what you need. He was really happy and excited by the time he left the store. I think he's the best buyer for life.
Beautiful afternoon, Sonoma, California. TNT with the Toyota Save-Mart 350 for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. 63 laps are complete. Denny Hamlin is the race leader. Dale Earnhardt Jr. runs in the 12th position. Junior, no top 10s at this track, but he has finished 3rd, 5th, and 10th on a road course. All of those at Watkins Glen. So he's looking for his first top 10 finish here at Infineon. Time for an Ask the Booth question from Race Buddy on road courses. Why are you drivers able to shift without a clutch?
I'll take a stab at it, and then Kyle can save me on it. The way these boxes are, the gears are what they call like a straight cut gear, and they just match better when you're shifting. And if all you have to do is slow the engine down, slow the gearbox down with your left foot on the brake, and then you blip the throttle as you're downshifting or upshifting, and it's just it's a better fit. synchros.
Still
Where
there.
there's a lot of rings
Clear.
and pins and stuff like that with the gearboxes, and they weren't very strong. But the way they are now, you could do it because they're of the straight cut gears.
Yeah, and these guys are really good at it. Because they're learning on these transmissions. You know, when a lot of guys that are, if you take my group as a cutoff, and the guys before me and stuff, we all learned double clutching and stuff. Yeah. And you had to match everything. These guys learn on this, like Joey Logano, you see him right here. He learns on this stuff, so he'll be better and better and better and continue to get better. You see Harvick just blipped that thing just a minute ago, right as he shifted it.
Yeah, and you won't use the clutch, but listen. Now, once he's coming into this last corner, you'll watch him downshift right through here. It's all pedal work. It's just dancing. See how he's blipping it? He's on the brake, and he's just blipping the throttle as he's downshifting all at the same time. And it's all about timing and rhythm, and it's not something you pick up right away. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of work to figure it out.
Still there.
But once you do it, it's a
Still
lot of
there.
fun.
So his teammate
Still there.
head for pit road. This is the battle for second.
Now these guys are they're running each other pretty hard right now. We'll see if Kurt gives him any room down here in turn 7.
You think?
No.
All right, we're in a
But
window.
Tony
If we're in the
set him
gravel,
up here. Yeah,
anything's in the
think he will
gravel, I
now.
want you on pit road.
Yeah, I mean, Tony's buying, but this is a safe place to pass and a safe place to let somebody get in front of you.
Stewart stopped on lap 54. Kurt Busch hasn't been to pit road since lap 22. And these leaders that last stopped around that lap 22, lap 30 area are getting very close to returning to pit road. Okay, we saw Kyle Busch have some trouble. Let's get an update from Matt.
Bill, when you look at the big picture for Kyle Busch, back on lap 51, Steve Addington told him, let's stick to our game plan. All we have to do is stop one more time, and we are good to go. The other contenders can't make it on one more stop. And then the spin, he brought the car in, he shut it off in their pit box. They went to work on the right front. He said that something definitely felt like it was bent. The handling definitely had gone away. They worked on it. He lost over a lap on pit road. He simply said, we are done. Our day is over.
And he's right. And, you know, those guys have run good this year. I mean, they have run good, and they should be well into the top 10 in points, but they've just been inconsistent, and things like this is what takes you out of, you know, being in the top 12.
Marty?
Bill, Carl Edwards leaving pit road. These are the guys that stopped on lap 22. And I just talked to Bob Osborne. They can make it all the way from here. We'll see if this strategy works out, Matt.
And I don't know, Marty, if any driver has put more effort into trying to run well this weekend than Joey Logano. Came out here, he drove in a late model, really picked up the game. His car this run was still loose and made a track bar adjustment and an air pressure change in the rear tires to try to give him more forward bite. Lindsay?
Matt Kenseth brings his car in. He had said that the front end damage had not caused an overheating problem, but they're rethinking this. He said they're going to have to fix some of that body damage. They'll give him 4 tires and fuel. They last pitted on lap 22.
Yeah, he's got some issues there. He's got a lot of damage to the left front of that car.
These guys that stopped on lap 22 ran 44 laps on fuel. We have 44 to go. They were helped by some caution flag laps. Denny Hamlin now heads for his pit stall. Scheduled length is 110 laps. 67 are complete. Hamlin with that long drive down this winding pit road. Lindsay?
Bill, there you see the number 2 of Kurt Busch. I got to tell you, this is exactly what they wanted as far as pit strategy. They're giving him 4 fresh tires, going around out on Reg. Right now, he says the car feels pretty good, Ralph Shaheen.
Denny Hamlin is in, the race leader. Watch the fuel man. Scott Wood, he's the most important part of this stop. He is going to be packing this car full of fuel. No changes. There he goes. He can go the distance from here, Lindsay.
Yeah, you know what? Greg Biffle is in the 16 car. There you see him. His car chief working on the car. There you go. Goes away. They gave him 4 tires, fuel. Greg says right now a little bit loose, but should be tightening him up.
And Kurt Busch beat Denny Hamlin out. And that's big.
Here's the race off of pit road.
A lot easier to pass somebody in the pits than it is on the racetrack.
That's for sure. Boris said, too fast exiting.
Under green.
That will be a dreadfully long pass-through penalty.
Oh, that hurts.
We saw how long it took Jimmy Johnson. He's just now back in the top 10 through pit strategies and other stuff to get back after his pass through under green.
And it's a long, long ways on this pit lane.
Tony Stewart, the race leader.
Oh!
For now.
And that was it. He just locked up the right front. And like when you see these guys go sailing off into the corner because the car doesn't turn, it's because the right front isn't turning.
Mr. McReynolds.
Guys, these guys leading the race, like
This time,
Stewart,
this time,
Kane,
this time, this time, hit this time.
I just think the minute they get to their window that they can make it, they don't need to stretch this out. Two things. One, those guys that just pitted are getting advantage of fresh tires. The other thing, if a caution comes out, we know the guys that just pitted, they're staying out, and these guys will be forced to come to pit road. I just think that the minute the window opens for their fuel, they better get to pit road.
Larry.
Yes.
Does that window get you to 110?
Yes.
Or does it
Bart,
get you to
another
112 or 113?
Well, again, Bill, I know that you're thinking about building a little bit of insurance, and at a road course, that's not a bad thing. But if we don't have a caution, I think the chance of us having
Extra conservative, they said it got us in the second loop, the one before our box. Just run a little slow coming to us. Make sure we're good. Come on down, easy, 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 easy. Now be conservative. 100 under, all the way to here. Stay under, stay under. 3, 2, 1, 4 tires.
Just like Larry Mack said, they wanted to pit as soon as they could. He said it's loose everywhere, especially turn 7. They're going to make a wedge adjustment, trying to tighten it up a little bit. He feels like the top of the hill is where he's giving up the most time. 4 tires for him. Behind him, Jeff Gordon. 4 tires for Gordon. It's still extremely loose for Gordon. On the last stop, though, they pulled spring revers. They drop a lug nut on the left rear. Another long stop for Jeff Gordon.
All clear, all clear, all clear.
Had his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. pitted on lap 22, then came back in for fuel only on 30. Jr. and now his biggest complaint is absolutely no forward bite.
Looked like they had a lug nut issue there
but
too.
They got after it pretty quick, I think. Saw the NASCAR official pointing.
These teams know how critical it is to gain any 1/10 of a second you can on pit road. And sometimes it just gets away from you down there.
Yeah, just that little deal with Gordon. I mean, I didn't have a watch on it, but you're figuring that was an extra 3 or 4 seconds right there. And 3 or 4 seconds on a racetrack's a ton.
When you look at it and it looks slow, it's slow.
Yeah.
And you don't see that a lot from that team. That team very rarely makes mistakes. We saw Tony last week. His guy made a little bobble on the front, still was able to recover. Tony came back. When you do it on a road course, these guys are at the top of the hill and gone by the time you come off pit road.
And you see, Boris said was behind Stewart. He got his lap back.
He's at the tail end of the lead lap. Stewart is the race leader under green in Sonoma.
We're on the road to show people.
We've made a great product even better. Watch.
Now every drop of Shell gasolines contain a nitrogen-enriched cleaning system that seeks and destroys engine gunk left by lower quality gasoline.
It then acts as a barrier that protects engines from performance-robbing gunk.
Try new nitrogen-enriched Shell gasolines.
Helping you get the most out of every drop.
Next stop, I want to drive.
Problem. People everywhere are hooking up their new flat screens to DirecTV, and they are blown away with the picture on all their amazing HD channels. Solution. We go viral. We get on the net, and we blog it out. Ta-da! We're up 800% among suburban tweens. Who just saved Q3?
Switch today and get the most HD channels anywhere. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
See you tomorrow, Steve.
Tony Stewart. Thank you, Tony.
Tony? Armor All wash, wipes, and tire shines. Go ahead, stare. And to clean your car while you shine, try Armor All Protect It.
I can't believe I'm beating Billie Jean King.
You're not beating me. In fact, you haven't even got a serve in.
Okay. You might want to take a gander at the scoreboard. Whoa. What's with the Geico sign, Billie Jean?
They're sponsoring all this.
I get it. I quit, but I get it. Oh, look, that's hilarious.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Handler from Chelsea Lately on E! Congratulations to DirecTV on 15 years and being the #1 satellite TV service provider in the country. I myself had a #1 bestseller, so I know the feeling. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Kevin Nealon, and from all of us here at Weeds and the Showtime family, here's a big, loud, happy 15th anniversary shout-out to DirecTV. Happy anniversary! It was pretty loud.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing, brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. By Off Track with Tony Stewart, presented by Armor All. An exclusive video series that puts you behind the scenes with racing superstar Tony Stewart. To watch now, go to NASCAR.com/ArmorAll. By Sprint, the Now Network, and by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
72 laps are complete. Casey Kane has been to pit road. Jimmy Johnson has been to pit road. Tony Stewart is the race leader, about 4 seconds ahead of Robbie Gordon. A report on Stewart from Matt Yoakum.
Bill, Tony Stewart's opened up almost a 5-second lead. This is recent conversation between he and Darian Grubb.
I'm hoping this will be one of those deals where we get caution there towards the end and break the windows up. You get a faster car, we'll go get them. I like that strategy. It's a hell of a lot better than just riding around here. 10-4, it's a lot cooler to watch you go out there and pass those cars. Things pretty dang fast. Yeah, it's fun today, man. At the beginning there, I was a little worried.
6 laps ago, Darian Grubb gave him the green light. So go ahead and go as hard as you can. Give me 6 good laps, and then our window opens. The guys are on the wall. They're waiting for Stewart to come any lap now.
Jeff Burton has had an off-course excursion. He's back on the track in the 31 car.
Clear.
You see Tony leading the race, last pitted on lap 54. We're working lap 74 right now. These road course races, you have to hope the strategy comes to you.
Well, it kind of has for Robbie. I mean, Robbie Gordon's sitting up there in second spot right now, and it wasn't long ago. I looked back and I went, well, I wonder what's wrong with Robbie. He's back in 32nd.
Robbie Gordon runs right behind Tony Stewart. On the track, he's 5 seconds behind him on the clock. Here he comes. Foot cam for Robbie Gordon. It's through turn 11.
And Robbie was, I think he was the fastest car in final practice yesterday.
You can get here, buddy. Doing good.
And his feet are high on those pedals.
3 more.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like in the middle of his foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
usually use like the ball of your foot to hit the meat of the pedal, but his feet, both the throttle and the brake, are way high.
And you know, we've looked at the foot pedals in 3 or 4 different cars. Every set of pedals are different, and that's just driver preference. It's how you want to hit it, how much pressure, where's your pressure point on your foot, how you look at the accelerator, how you look at the rest of it.
Some of the pedals are mounted, are floor mounts.
Yeah.
Some are mounted up from the top.
It's incredible, man. Everybody, you stand back and you look at these cars, and they all look the same except for the paint jobs on them, and then you get to looking at little things like that, and it's just driver preference. He's on the brake and the gas at the same time, you know, and you see a lot of that. And that's not something you do on an oval track. Even at a Martinsville or a place like that, you don't use your feet like this. And that's why these guys, as you talk about a Robbie Gordon, talk about a Max Pappas, who's done a great job today. I thought he was back in the top 10 or 12 a minute ago looking at the thing. He's fallen back after he pitted. But you look at some of these guys, they learn it, and they learn that dance early, and they do it so well, man. And you know, the Cup guys have always had that knock. We don't know how to do it, or they don't know how to do it.
Leader on pit road. Tony Stewart heads for his pit. Matt?
Some slight damage to the right front bumper. Jeff Gooch Patterson, the gas man. The first 88 pounds of fuel goes in, then Gooch and Scott Radel. Radel holds the can, Gooch retakes it, and Stewart's away to Ralph.
Jimmy Watts is going to get his turn with the gas can, Matt. He's the guy working the big can for Marcus Ambrose. Here he comes over. He's also got a wrench in his hand. They're going to make some track bar adjustments here. There you see the shift with the gas can. They think they're pretty good. They're going to take 4 tires of fuel, and they think they can go all the way from here. I asked them if they were good with their strategy. Frankie Kerr said, kind of. Kevin Harvick's been running good lap times. They wanted to stay out as long as they could because the car was running so well.
And that was a, man, I was just getting ready to say that was a good, clean pit stop for the 47. That's what they needed.
Top of the hill, get out of the way.
Man.
It's all clear.
Bobby's just trying to find the track at this point in time. Yeah, I mean, but you can't see anything. There's so much dust, the car's full of dust, and that's not a knock. You're just trying to find the racetrack. Now he's going to pull over here and try to get a caution.
I don't think
bring out a full course
to see how much damage the 47's got, but
caution's out. Caution.
And there is the caution.
Save gas. Save.
He made it out of that mess. Yeah. Now this works pretty good for the 47 car.
But look at all that gravel. Now, as we talked earlier, look at all this gravel.
Continue to watch it fall
as it falls off the side there. That's incredible, man. And that's what, when your tires are hot, these guys will get up there before they get a chance to sweep that off. So a lot of these guys that have just pitted and have hot tires, they're going to pick this up.
I don't think Marcos has a whole lot of damage to that car.
And Jimmy Johnson did a great job. Look at Jimmy Johnson. I mean, he's got it blocked up going to the outside, going straight at him.
And this is just one of those deals where you know, Marcus was all the way to the left. He couldn't really go any more to the left, and it was just these guys were all racing for that same real estate.
But you come up there and look, you can see the position, see where they're at. Boom. Bobby's trying to cut to get over to the curb to set himself up for the next turn. Yeah. And that's where he's looking. You're always looking to the next corner.
Oh, man, I'll tell you.
That was ugly
right
there.
Yeah.
But you're always looking to the next corner on a road course.
Brandon Ash is the lucky dog.
Coming outside.
It's the 47 on board.
Right in front of you. Come on, keep taking.
Say, Marcos dodged a big bullet on that one right there.
And so did Jimmy Johnson. I'm going to tell you, because he could have drove right
now,
in.
Isn't that's going to put them in a great spot because they just pitted, right?
Right.
So leaving every option open. No, not
these
yet.
other guys coming in pit.
Casey Kane pitted on lap 71. He's in 5th. Tony Stewart pitted on lap 75. He's currently scored 7. Joey Logano put it on 66. He's in the 6th position.
Okay, now look, see Marcus was rubbing that left and right really hard. I think he's wanting to see if he's going to have a tire rub because there is damage on that right front.
Hey guys, remember what I said about staying out too long and a caution burning you?
Yep.
You're looking at the man that just got burned by that caution. Stayed out way too long. Robbie Gordon, you know, we're sitting here now with 36 cars on the lead lap. He has to pit. And I just think by not coming to pit road when the window opened, it very possibly, Ralph, cost him the race.
You're getting pretty good at this gas thing. That's exactly what their problem is. I just talked to Bob Gordon, Robbie's dad. He was so frustrated. He said we had planned on coming in right then when that caution came out. They had to stay out to get another lap or 2 in so they'd have enough fuel if there was a green-white checkered scenario. Everything was falling their way.
Okay, Stevie, they're going to be coming out
you don't have to say anything. All you have to do is look at Robbie's reaction inside that car, and you can tell that they just gave it away.
Yeah, it's hard to believe you can be strapped in and have that much body language, but I mean that says it all, man. He's shaking his head, he's putting it in his lap. I mean, his hands are hanging onto the net. That's just
NASCAR. I had to pass the 13. Not keeping up with the cars on the,
I don't know where his window exactly was, but it's a gamble. I mean, it's all timing on if you can hit it right or not.
Yeah, Wally, I think he was a well 2 to 3 laps. I just think I'd rather lose a race because I didn't have enough fuel to make it through a green-white checkered than lose a race this way.
Yeah.
So now Robbie heads to his pit stall under caution. Robbie Gordon has not pitted. Scott Speed, Martin Truex Jr.
Pit.
If they all come, it should circle around to Casey Kane as the leader.
Come on down here. Come on down. Come on down. 4 tires. 3, 2, 1. 4 tires.
Kirk Almquist, his crew chief, told me this morning the biggest difference for Robbie this year is that they are on the same page. They have all agreed what they were going to do race strategy-wise. They would live and die together as a team, Marty.
Ralph, Jeff Gordon didn't have a whole lot to lose here, pitting for 4 tires and...
Oh, clear, get out there. 5's coming, get out there. All right, you're clear. Easy, you're clear.
New tires on from the last stop, trying for everything they can. They're hoping these new tires gain them something.
Did you see those guys on the 7 car banging on it, trying to get Robbie, trying to inspire him, motivate him a little bit?
But it's a team sport. How many times have we talked about this in our couple of weeks here at TNT? It's a team sport, and everything that's going on here, from the gamble to the gas to the tires to when I'm going to pit, when I'm not, is a team deal. The team has to stay up because they can still salvage.
No, you were fine. These guys were wondering about the changes and stuff, but
Under
there was like
caution
7
right
cars
now.
that we're going to lose our spots to.
Scott Speed is the race leader, but he hasn't been to pit road since lap 54. See if he comes now or comes a little bit later. Casey Kane runs second, then it's Logano, Stewart, and Denny Hamlin.
I cannot believe that you are only a buck.
I don't believe it. No, someone pinches sesames, so I know he is real.
Let's go. Already did.
That's great. Better, closer.
Pardon me for looking, but you have some wonderful things hanging out back here.
Whopper Jr. is only a buck. King value at Burger King.
This is humiliating. Stand still so we can get an accurate reading. Okay, 18 pounds and a smidge.
A smidge?
You know, there's really no need to weigh packages under 70 pounds. With priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service, if it fits, it ships anywhere in the country for a low flat rate.
Cool. You know, this scale is off a good 7-8 pounds. Maybe 5.
Priority mail flat rate boxes, only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
You give your sport 100%, so should your sunscreen. Coppertone Sport is 100% sunscreen. Neutrogena is 28% chemical propellant. Coppertone gives you better protective coverage. Waterproof, sweatproof. Coppertone Sport 100%.
Are you going to the bathroom more than ever?
You're not alone.
Waking up a lot at night to go?
Stopping and starting.
Feeling that urgency?
You're not alone.
Lots of guys get urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. And for many of these guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Want to learn more about your urinary symptoms? You're not alone. Talk to your doctor and see if Flomax is right for you. Call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off newer refill prescriptions. For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
What do we like? Getting a rise out of the crowd.
I like 200 miles an hour.
I like tailgate parties.
With 100,000 friends.
I like yard work. I like 800 horsepower. I like a 13-second pit stop.
I like short track,
Trading paint.
super speedway,
Burning rubber.
road courses.
A good hard race. I like them all. I just like that I love this sport.
This is mine.
Mine. This is yours. Yours.
This is our NASCAR.
I mean, from what I'm hearing,
Field
get
has
all
gotten
the
the
way
one-to-go
to
signal here
about
at the Toyota
10
Save
thinks
Mark
they can make it.
350, and they
The
have
front 9 are
warned
real
these
close.
drivers
10
to make
back, they
sure
think
they
they can
pull
make
up
it.
and they're in the
Just run
proper
hard here. All we
positions
can.
for the restart. They don't want anybody hanging back, trying to pick up a little bit more speed. So NASCAR has warned the teams, make sure your driver's in the proper position.
I don't think it's picking up speed. I think they just don't want to be in the wreck.
Okay.
Yeah, they're hedging their bet a little
Caution
bit when
didn't
they
really
get over
catch
there.
anybody.
Let's
There's
check out
32
a
to
fresh
go.
take
Everybody
brought to
made
you
their
by
pit stop.
Subway
So
Restaurant, Subway
top
E-Fresh.
8 or 9
Let's go down
deep
the
real early.
line.
From
Bill,
about
these
10
are the
on
things
back,
we
everybody
talked
thinks
about
they
at
can
the top of the show. My calculator, the battery's dead, my pen's out of ink, my brain's tired. But the thing I want you to look at, other than Scott Speed in that 87 car, pretty much everybody is done coming to pit road if you're going to win this race. But just look right there. I don't know that we're done with cautions. The last caution normally comes average a lap 93. Right now we've got 32 laps to go. And I think with this double file restart, shootout style, Wally, that we will have some more cautions. So I don't think we're done that. In fact, 4 times in the last 8 races, a caution in the last 10 laps.
And I agree with you on that, Larry, because first of all, this is where the patience goes out the window. The closer we get to the end of this race, guys are not going to just follow somebody if they're faster. They're going to start getting into each other.
And Scott Speed, who is the race leader in the 87 car owned by Joe Nemechek, pitted on lap 54. Casey Kane pitted just 7 laps ago in that 71 car, and everybody behind Speed has basically pitted within the last 11 laps.
All right, KP, so we keep waiting for seeing if that outside lane is going to make it happen. This could be real interesting.
Casey Kane will be in the outside lane.
I predict this will be real
It's going to be real
interesting.
interesting. I'm not going to say why.
I predict it will be. That's right. You guys at home make your own calls on this, but I predict this will be real interesting.
Keep it up.
This is one of those deals where I'm not sure anybody's going to lift.
Yes.
Again, Scott Speed failed to qualify for this race. They basically made a deal, worked a deal with Joe Nemechek, the owner and driver of that 87 car. Joe has a lot of friends, gets a lot of help from that team.
Joe, I hope you got insurance, buddy.
All right, pace car is off.
Doing a nice job today, like Kyle said.
Pace car to the infield.
Longfellow sitting there in 7th. Don't forget about him.
Joey Logano in 3rd in his first road course race in the Sprint Cup Series.
Green flag.
Here's the green. Two very critical turns right here.
All right, then we got side by side going up the hill, Kyle. So, wait.
Go inside there.
He did it.
Go inside.
There he did it.
Clear front of you.
It can
happen. Clear all around.
Kane to the lead, Stewart to 2nd. And these guys are going to want to get around that 87 car in a hurry.
Somebody's going to jack that 87 up.
Goes Kirkwood. Whoa! Kirkwood goes way in there.
Montoya over the curve. Bunch of guys
out there at this moment. I can guarantee you.
Out there.
He's not saving fuel. Montoya by.
Out there.
Oh, 20 car.
Still out there.
Joey Logano, the rookie. Denny Hamlin, his teammate, right behind him.
Those curves.
Still there. Clear.
You said in Wally's world that's cool and fun to do.
It is. I'm not sure if you're supposed to use all 4 of those.
Okay.
I get it. One right front,
okay.
left front. Oh, nice block job. We're trying. Okay, now see if Denny can do this without running into somebody.
Excellent point.
On board with Marcus Ambrose.
And Joey gave him plenty of room. Joey knew he was there, gave him plenty of room, swung that outside. And that just comes. And you would think it would come with experience, but I tell you what, those guys are teammates, and obviously they're spotters, or their spotters were talking to each other.
Okay, watch here. I thought the 11 was going to get into the 87 of Speed.
You got Ambrose right there.
And he's still going to happen.
Yeah. You got Ambrose right at the tail end of this thing with the 09 of fellows.
Yeah.
And they need to be moving.
The 87's like a jam car right now. You know, I mean, you know, he doesn't have the tires everybody else has, and you've got a lot of guys coming in here running hard.
Oh my. And there's your contact. Logano and Speed.
You knew it was coming.
Now Ambrose.
Don't do that. Now I bet he's got a left rear rub. He can have a flat tire just on that deal right there.
Clear.
I bet he's going to get a flat tire on this deal. Ryan Newman.
The 39 of Ryan Newman. Currently 6th in the championship standings. Up front you see Tony chasing Casey Kane.
Here comes Scott. That's Scott Speed. He's got. The 98 goes around. So here we go. What was I saying about everybody's patience going out the window?
Still there. Still there. All right, clear. Clear behind that 7.
Yeah, last time they pitted, they just handed their patience out the window. Because it's time to race, and it is time to race. These guys have to go now.
I tell you got to go back to 5th place here in that 48 car of Jimmy Johnson. Just an amazing comeback after the pit road speeding penalty. We watched the action. Check with Larry.
Hey guys, in simple
clear on my side.
This is where they all go berserk. Right here.
Okay, let's see if we can find out. Man, it's really closer than it looks. Here's a replay looking for Ryan Newman.
I'm not sure if he got help by the 77 on that or not.
The 77 was way out to the left. If he did, he just...
On board.
Looks like he just gassed it up and got out from under.
Quarter. Clear.
That's hard.
He could have got touched there in the left rear.
Sam.
Race leader Casey Kane. Tony Stewart runs 2nd. Tiptoeing through turn 11.
10 hot. Eyes forward. My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I need me 8 soldiers. We're gonna be doing one thing only. Killing Nazis. Yes, sir! Members of the National Socialist Party conquered Europe with murder, torture, intimidation, and terror. And that's exactly what we're gonna do to them. We will be cruel to the Germans, and through our cruelty, they will know who we are. They will find the evidence of our cruelty in the disemboweled, dismembered, and disfigured bodies of their brothers we leave behind us. The German will not be able to help themselves from imagining the cruelty their brothers endured at our hands, and our boot heels, and the edge of our knives. The German will be sickened by us. The German will talk about us. And the German will fear us. Nazi ain't got no humanity. And they need to be destroyed. Each and every man under my command owes me 100 Nazi scalps. And I want my scalps.
Inglorious Bastards.
9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Sound good? Yes, sir!
This film is not yet rated.
The NASCAR.com Superstore. Real gear, real fast.
With phone company DSL, you have the internet. But with Roadrunner High-Speed Online, you have seriously fast internet. The kind of speed that unlocks the potential of the web. I get to have a true connection with people and cultures all over the globe. Sharing with them ideas and experiences none of us will ever forget.
Blackjack! Blackjack, baby!
Faster internet, phone company DSL doesn't have it. Time Warner Cable does. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
There's nothing more exciting than being part of a championship team. DirecTV has what it takes as the nation's #1 satellite service. From one champ to another, happy 15th anniversary.
Hi, I'm Anna Paquin, Sookie on the HBO series True Blood, back for our 2nd season. From everyone at HBO, especially the cast and crew of True Blood, happy 15th anniversary, DirecTV. You have our undying admiration.
Yeah,
Toyota
combination
saved
of
Mark
that and
350
another
for
car.
the stars of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Just 27 laps to go. We are under caution for a multi-car incident. That's one of them. Go back and take a look.
As you ride around here, make sure you
Let's see if I can make a mess of this.
Looking for Boris
Yeah,
said.
we're looking for Boris said, and go ahead and roll it, and I'll do my best, folks.
How do you get to the front?
Rocket right there. Boris gets in there way too hot. Hits the 71.
Real early, made up some time, I think, on new tires.
77,
14,
right. And 77
right
stays in the gas, drills the 71 of David Gilliland, and it will take a shot from Boris's car. Kyle, I don't believe Boris was going to make this corner without the other cars he could have pinballed off.
Yeah, right here, Boris is headed for the Save Mark sweep. Boom. And the 77 pulls back in front of him, cuts into the corner the way he should have. 77 did nothing wrong there, and neither did the 71. There's two cars that are eliminated from the race.
Because the guy got in there too hot.
Because the guy got in there too hot. But at this time in the race, to give Boris, you know, his kudos on this, he's got to get back to the front, and he's driven to the front a couple of times.
Lucky dog is the 18 of Kyle Busch.
There's going to be more people on the gravel.
We're down here with Kenny Francis. Kane. Kenny, what are you guys going to do on this restart? How's he going to approach it?
I don't know. You know, we have a pretty good car. Budweiser Dodge has been good all day, and you know, we're not typically great road racers, but he does a pretty good job.
I mean, he's about the only one that
good
kept
on our
up
car
with
today.
Stewart.
Car's
When he
running
was
real
up
good,
front with
so
him, for some reason
it's
they
hard
didn't
to say.
fit,
You know,
and he rode all
Stewart's
the
a
way
hard
to yellow.
one to beat on a road course, but yeah, we'll give it our best shot. I think we got a real good car, a real good chance, though.
As he said earlier today, Bill, he said, so did Casey Kane, that this is the best car he's ever had here.
Casey Kane has never finished in the top 10 in 10 road course races. He leads right now with 27 to go. Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch, and that Montoya guy behind him.
People like that, they have all the money, they have all the power. No options. And they use it to make people like you go away.
justice.
We provide leverage.
No problem. Get ready to get even again. Academy Award winner Timothy Hutton. Leverage.
What's in it for me? Payback.
New season premiere July 15th at 9.
Only on TNT.
Special sauce on the cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun. Alright. Two all beef patties, special sauce on the cheese, pickles, onions on the
Big
sesame
Mac,
seed.
you so want one.
What if we could use the sun to help keep us cool? Solar-powered ventilation to help cool you. Available on the 3rd generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
Temperatures and
couple of weeks, he's having problems with his pitching elbow, and team doctors want him to sit a few games.
high pressure system continues to sit over the area, and that's going to mean more.
Once you've dealt with the things that come between you, don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. To learn more, spend some quality time with Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. Now's the time. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Wacky road course race here in Sonoma, and the excitement continues to build. Just 26 to go. Be a double file restart when we get the opportunity to go back to green flag racing, still under caution. Let's check with Lindsay Zarniak.
I'm here with Kurt Busch's crew chief, Pat Trison. Pat, right now you guys are charging in the 3rd spot. What is your strategy now?
Right now, the middle light Dodge, we're hoping the race goes green the rest of the way, and we don't have to stop again. But you know, right now we're good on fuel mileage, so we'll see what happens. But there's a late caution. It'll be interesting to see if some guys come put tires on. When Tony had those fresher tires, when everybody was on tires, he moved up pretty quick. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there at the end.
Pat Trison would love to get Kurt Busch to his first trip to victory lane here at Sonoma. Matt?
Lindsay, before the last restart, Greg Zipadelli told his young driver, just save your stuff, be patient. We are working on a career best finish, a great run in the offing. And then you saw what transpired. They brought the car down the pit road. They worked on the left front fender. At about the 9 o'clock area, it had been pushed in, so they worked on that, sent him back out. But the bad news, he's now gone from 8th all the way to 36th, last car in the lead lap.
2 to go, so we can take another break. Want to say hello to Johnny Benson. No, he's back at home, recovering from that wreck he had up in Michigan. And happy Father's Day to Aldo Andretti, who's getting well, too.
How beautiful it is here. Yeah,
That's the spot right up there.
Set it down. Yeah, good job. Who wants a beer? Grab me a beer. That's what I'm talking about. Incredible game.
The world's hottest sport meets the world's most refreshing beer. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the official beer of NASCAR.
Whopper Jr. and his itty-bitty $1 price, aren't we?
You got a little itty-bitty price, don't you?
This was not in my contract.
Oh, Mr. Krabby. Whopper Jr. is only $1. King value at Burger King.
How bad is your heartburn?
My heartburn? It's like a volcano in my chest. Boom.
But one Zantac later, and that volcano is history. All day or all night.
Heartburn, attack it. Zantac.
You're watching NASCAR Hotpass, exclusively on DirecTV and brought to you by New Shell Nitrogen-Enriched Gasoline.
Hey, Kevin. Filling up with nitrogen-enriched Shell gasoline? It contains a cleaning system that seeks and destroys the engine gunk left by lower-quality gasoline. Then it acts as a barrier that protects engines from performance-robbing gunk.
She's trying to wreck me. Quit your whining, Harvick. Yes! Winner!
Kevin, everyone's a winner with new nitrogen-enriched Shell gasoline.
Large cheese pizza.
Make it 1/2 mushroom.
Make 1/2 mushroom.
Oh, get pepperoni, the other red meat.
And pepperoni.
Pepperoni gives you pimples.
Pepperoni gives you pimples.
Please, can you get half veggie?
Vegetables give me gas.
And 1/2 antacid.
Think fast.
Deep dish.
No. Get the one with the cheese injected into it.
What does your family do on Saturday night?
Just give me 2 large cheese pizzas.
Oh, how about couscous?
The Billingville Show. Get together on Saturday nights, starting with the new season premiere Saturday, July 18th.
Only on TBS. Very funny.
TNT Race family spending the weekend in wine country here in Sonoma, California. Infineon Raceway, and our thanks to Steve Page and his staff and all the great people here at this track that make this such a pleasant visit for us
row 12.
and for all the fans that attend this race.
This is a fun place to come.
It really is. And by the way, NASCAR wants to thank everybody for your support at the track and by watching on their TV partners, including us at TNT. Field getting 1 to go. What's it going to look like when they go back to green? Let's revisit Wally's World.
Infineon is one of 2 road courses on NASCAR's top circuit and provides multiple challenges to the drivers from the moment the green flag is dropped. One very tricky corner is turn 3. You enter by climbing a hill where you can't see the racetrack on the other side. So aim for the curve. This not only gives you a target to hit so you won't blow the exit of the corner, but it also helps turning the car over the hill. Not to mention, it looks cool and it's fun to do. If you are going to have a shot at winning here at Infineon, you'll have to keep it pointed in the right direction.
It takes a lot of guts to do that.
It sure does. Or no brains.
That too.
Fans, let's check in with Larry McReynolds for his rankings for today's AT&T Fastest Pit Crew at Sonoma.
Guys, I'm going to tell you what, this is a tough one here, but my #1 vote right now would be Kenny Francis. We just talked to him, Casey Kane in that 9 car. Remember, when everyone else pitted on that first caution, they stayed out there. They were one of the last cars to pit in the very beginning of this race. You got to tip your hat to Frankie Kerr and Marcos Ambrose in that 47 car. Starting at the rear of the field up there in the top 10. And how about Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus up there in the top 5? And that's after a pit road speeding penalty. So that'll be my 3 picks for right now.
Hey, did Kane pick the outside? Because that's a first if he did, right?
They pick it against Tony. He was on the outside last time. You called
But
it
he was
last
in
time.
second.
But get all your fans on. 23 to go.
He was the leader.
I know we're not where we want to be. Just get all you can at it.
But he
You
beat
know
the
he's
guy
gonna be.
from the outside.
Yeah, that's right.
But the last time it was Scott Speed. This time it's Tony Speed.
Right.
Okay.
Or Speedy Tony.
But you know what? I mean, it's somebody totally different this time.
It was Scott Speed on old tires.
That's right, Scott Speed on old tires.
Right.
This is totally different right here.
Oh, but if he can get the jump, if he can beat Stewart to the jump and get on the gas, if he can stay there and stay to the inside when he gets to turn 2, he's going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
But that's a tall order because you see all that rubber stuff outside the racetrack? That's the stuff that he's going to have to deal with if he gets a foot offline.
Be 23 to go when these guys get to the line. This is the exact situation these drivers have been talking about since they got to Sonoma Friday morning. A double file restart in the late laps of the race, and how much traffic there will be in the first 2 or 3 turns.
All right, Shannon. Pace car is
I don't know how much traffic there's going to be. 42 cars.
Get ready.
There's going to be a lot of traffic.
This is going to be cool.
39 cars on the lead lap.
See if he gets a jump.
green flag, green flag.
I think he got a good jump. I think he heard you.
He got a good jump.
He did get a good jump there.
Montoya's good. Is he going to stick it in there? He is.
This is going to be big.
Nice, very nice. Oh, that's a good move on Montoya.
That's a gutsy move on Montoya because you got to jam it in there and then get it stopped at the top of the hill and not hit Casey up there.
This is what you have to do right now. You've got to put your car in a position that you wouldn't have earlier. You're gonna see like 11 going down here. I'm surprised 11 would go in there a little bit harder.
Wow. He's all over his rear bumper too. You saw Jimmy block right there.
They're all around. They're all
Jimmy
around.
knew he didn't get up off that corner good and he had to block.
47, taking a look.
That curve right there is incredible. If you laid a straight edge across that curve right there and went out, it's 2.5 feet tall. I mean, it really takes the car, almost stands the car up on its sidewalls when you come around that corner. It's not on the, you're not on the tire patch anymore. You're on the sidewalls.
That's 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry about that. Ambrose in that 47. Then he's going to try. No.
Jimmy Johnson's putting on the blocks right now. And this is where you start, like I said earlier, when you start driving in your mirror, you start making mistakes.
All clear.
And when you block somebody like this, basically what you're doing is really, especially after restart, you're trying to block them to get their tires heated up, and then you can fall back into your rhythm. Sometimes you're not as fast as they are right off the get-go, but you feel like if you could block them for a couple of laps, maybe I can get my stuff heated up and then I can get away from them.
But the thing is, too, when you block somebody, you're taking yourself off the racing line, which completely just messes up your rhythm. So you got to be careful. If you're going to pull off somewhere and make the block, you may get past because you're offline.
Stewart, Montoya for second. Look out for that wall. Thank you. Kurt Busch right behind them.
Nice move.
Yeah, strong move by Tony right there. That's a power
there. Clear.
Now Kurt Busch wants that position from Montoya.
That's a tough path to make right there if you're on the outside on that left-hander. There's not a whole lot of room.
Yeah, you get all the way to Guy's door and you still got to let off because he's got the line going in.
Do we take our hats off to these guys for that double file restart?
I think I do because, listen, this is what we wanted to see. It's made the racing a lot better, and everybody's got through it today cleanly, so it can be done. And this was one of those places where everybody was worried about.
Here we are 2 or 3 laps. Ooh, look at 11. God. But, I mean, here we are 2 or 3 laps after the restart, and they're still running 2 and 3 wide. When they were single file restarts, these guys were already spread out. The race was almost over.
Still out there.
I'm talking to Juan Pablo Montoya on the radio. Brian Patty said we're too good to the fuel. 2 laps in the good. He said drive it like you stole it. They were a little disappointed that Stewart got back by them. But remember, he's points racing. He told us that earlier in the day. You guys still buying that? Think he's still points racing?
Oh, here's something to that. Right now, he is 11th in points. So he is in the top 12 and would be in the chase at this point.
No, Marty.
Thank you.
I don't believe it. You know what? I don't think Montoya, and here's 48 taking a look at the 2. I don't think Montoya is probably real happy with the way his car has been braking today because I just didn't expect him. Jimmy Johnson, I thought he was going to make a
Kurt Busch goes around.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. And that's what happens. There's nothing you can do right there. You know, and the 48 was out there. He stuffed it in there. Kurt almost needed to roll out of it. But at this latest stage, at this late point of the race, you can't roll out of it.
But that's a deal. When you're on the outside like that, you are asking for trouble.
Still no caution flag.
Marcus Ambrose trying to brake on the outside. He's going to lose a spot.
Now the caution is out. Flag is out. Field is frozen.
Attaboy, go get him, dude. Go get him.
That was pretty cool.
Wow. That was a pretty cool series of corners right there. Because and it all starts, just as Wally said earlier in the day, you got to set up 2 or 3 corners away to make something happen. And this started back coming out of the other corner over there, 4A or whatever it is. I don't know what these corners are.
Way up there on the other end.
Yes. But you saw
what? I thought that was the opposite. Actually, Jimmy was on the outside.
Jimmy was on the outside, but here's the deal. Yeah, you're right. But Jimmy's on the outside, but watch this right here. You see Jimmy come at you. Watch Jimmy's car when it hits the curb. Yeah. Boom. The car sets to the right, then comes back to the left. And as it sets and comes back, Jimmy's just hanging on.
That's a hard call to make for the 2 to let off the gas there.
No, you're right. The 2 should not have let off. That's a bad call on Kyle Petty's part right there. Let me say it. The 2 shouldn't have let off. But this is that took my breath from setting up here.
For the
on board with Marcos Ambrose.
Okay, if you think that was tight, when you see this shot.
Okay, now watch this.
Oh, we got a little wheel hop there,
wow.
too.
And that thing is hopping at the same time.
He dodged the bullet on that one.
Not enough right side. They're 8-9. They'll go double file.
Matt Kenseth is the lucky dog. He will come around and join the cars on the lead lap.
Now Casey Kane has to do this restart again.
Right. With 20 to go. Double file restart, shootout style in Sonoma.
Would you like to see our new menu?
There's something big happening at Pizza Hut.
Oh, nice. It's a lot of food. Bro, those things are so good. Amazing. I think anybody can eat that whole thing by themselves.
I'd like to hit the lottery in food. Now get big meals like our stuffed pizza rolls, Pizza Mia, the Pizzone, and our personal Panorma's Pizza starting at just $5.
Here's your check.
Look at that. Small fries.
We just feasted for $5.
The Big Eat Tiny Price menu. Now you're eating America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut.
Welcome to Race Day on the Now Network. Right now, 7,100 people are listening to live race audio on NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile. Most commonly overheard phrase, 21 women just sent a text message from their phone to a giant video screen. Hello. And 17 people who saw their friend on television are calling that friend Now. America's most dependable 3G network, bringing you the first wireless 4G network. Sprint, the Now Network.
At Dodge, we build mechanical bulls. We build freight trains. We build toolboxes. We build field offices. We build fan clubs. We build the all-new, award-winning Dodge Ram. Come see what we built for you.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wakeboard Challenge. Here comes our first run.
Coming in heel-side 540, nice.
Let's see what Team Fault can do. Check out this guy.
Coming in heel-side 540, very nice.
Let's check that on the slow-mo.
He's got great rotation. It's a rear hand rainbow trout grab. And it looks like he saved a little puppy.
I think that's a Chihuahua, Tom.
Ay, caramba, Jimbo. That's incredible.
Fault, all the quench with an extra kick for those who get it done.
And then some.
Field out of turn 4, green flag. Because all these guys are bumper to bumper right now, so.
NASCAR.com Race Fuel. Race. Follow the second half of the NASCAR season with Race Fuel for only half the price. NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing, brought to you by UPS. Watch David Reagan take on UPS delivery drivers in Maximum Driver. And by Vault, for those who get it done, and then some.
Still under caution here in Sonoma. Find the largest assortment of NASCAR merchandise with over 100 drivers and 15,000 items available. Shop now at NASCAR.com/superstore. Field has not gotten the one to go. We'll get another break in and get back for that double file restart shootout style at Sonoma.
Lots of numbers go through my head in a race. There's my position, the RPM, how many laps are left, but lately it's just this one number. $5 foot long. No matter how loud the engine is, I just can't get it out of my head.
Race to Subway, where you can get a famous $5 footlong, including many of your favorite regular footlongs, like the Black Forest ham and cheese and oven-roasted chicken breast for just $5 each, all day, every day.
Subway, eat fresh.
I'm telling you, we're getting smothered by DirecTV.
Oh, yeah. Their customers love that they can watch high-def movies in full 1080p and Dolby surround sound.
Not as much as they would like watching it in 1080p.
But we don't broadcast in 1080p.
No. Neither does DirecTV. Oops. Looks like someone just leveled the playing field.
Get the best HD picture and sound. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Welcome to Progressive.com. You must be looking for motorcycle insurance.
You're good.
Thanks. So is our bike insurance. All the coverage you need at a great price.
Cool.
Hold on, cowboy. I'm not done. For less than $1 a month, you also get 24/7 roadside assistance.
Right on.
Yeah.
Sounds like you ride a 500.
More like a 900 V-twin.
Excuse me.
Well, you're excused.
The right insurance for your ride. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Brilliant little microbes that turn everyday crops into renewably sourced fabrics and plastics. Things that build safer cities the world over, and Mars-going crafts called rovers. Super small motors and gears, greener buildings, safer safety gear, lighter weight cars, and fuel-saving jets. For you and me and a healthier planet. All this and more from DuPont.
Compliments of DirecTV.
The NASCAR.com Superstore. Real gear, real fast.
You're coming out to Sonoma, be sure and bring your camera. It is just beautiful out here. It's been a fun week. Now a lot more fun. 18 laps to go. Double file restart. We're still under caution. The field has gotten the one to go. Here is a reminder as to why we're under caution. Contact between the 48 of Jimmy Johnson and the 2 of Kurt Busch. Kurt goes around under the tires. More from Matt Yoakum.
Bill, great analysis by Wally and
go,
KP. Moments after they broke down the Busch versus Johnson incident, here was Jimmy's take.
And that 2-spotter, and apologize.
Smoke up front, up our way up front. Jimmy's got a real bad front.
Bouncing off the curves and sliding all over the place.
Okay, dude, they understand that stuff.
Just make sure. I mean, it was kind of a bad situation where it turned. I'm sorry about that.
Coach Canals also told Jimmy that you're just as good as the 14 as Stewart. Keep an eye out because they were racing very hard in your mirror with Ambrose Fellows, Harvick, and Hamlin. Then he simply said, dude, there's a lot going on out there.
Danny, buddy, keep doing what you're doing, man. Take care of him good. Jeff, you're driving smart. I know it's a pain in the ass back there, but we're going to get something out of it. 17 to go right here.
You know, you can tell he does feel bad. There's a lot of other guys you go, yeah, sure, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
You know, but Jimmy is very, very clean race car driver.
Yeah, he wasn't just saying that just because he knows we're listening. That was sincerity in his voice. I believe that also.
17 laps to go when they get the green. Double file restart.
And that's the way I like it said, Bill. Okay. Now there's gonna be a lot of sincerity here going to the turn 1 or 2 because you got Montoya there and Stewart, and it could get ugly.
I sincerely want to lead this thing by the time I get to turn 2. That's what they're thinking right now.
It's all give and take here until now, when it's pretty much all take. Kane and Stewart for the lead.
Still out there. He didn't quite clear him, but
he's in position. He's got to get in position.
Still inside.
Now see if Jimmy Johnson can follow him through and get Stewart back to the 3rd spot.
Still there.
And see, he's not
clear.
in position. Yeah. Oh, and here comes Montoya. He's going to stick it right in there.
Montoya's going on the outside right here.
Yeah,
there is no racetrack.
This thing from now on.
Oh, my God.
He's going to use it all.
That's another brave move by Montoya. I don't care.
Now watch the curves.
Oh,
watch
my goodness.
the curves. Watch the wall.
Clear hole behind
we just made a comment about Jimmy racing fairly clean. That was clean. He gave Montoya a lot of room to get his car back and get it under control. This is good road racing right
now.
Now
here we go. We're in the same exact situation, but Jimmy rolled out of it this time. Amber's right behind him. Yeah, 47 car looks awfully strong right now. If he can get some breathing room, he may be a factor.
Greg Biffle has spun. It's Biffle. He's gone around behind this. Checking on that in the second.
Yeah, watch the 47 now. He's setting up the 48.
Ooh.
Biffle, you see the damage.
That's not a spin. That's a crash.
Oh, and the 48's just going to do the block, but the 47's got it. Like I said, Marcus has got a strong car right now, and he did that perfect. He was right there on his tail through 10. Jimmy blocked, but not enough.
Marcus Ambrose in that 47 car is a 2-time road racing champion from Australia.
Go get him, buddy. Go get him.
They're cheering him on right now. We saw some damage. I think we saw some damage coming in there on the 09 car. Maybe the Biffle got into him or whatever. I don't know. But that's Fellows who's been in the top 10 and been running in the top 10 had some damage. I'm gonna give a shout out to this car coming right into the picture right behind there. The 6 car. of David Reagan. Where's he come from? We've not even mentioned him all day long. And here he is in a Roush car, but he's up there in the top 5 or 6 right now.
See Kevin Harvick trying to get the position from Ron Fellows. And that's Clint Boyer, another Richard Childress Chevrolet.
Ooh,
and here comes Earnhardt.
It's getting busy. Watch it, Dale.
Clear.
Ooh. This is the time in the race where these guys take no prisoners.
No prisoners.
And you can see it in their driving.
When somebody checks up a little bit, somebody drives by them on both sides. You saw AJ right there. AJ just stood in the gas and drove back by the 99 right there.
AJ Allmendinger in 44.
Carrying that left front and smoking it through there at the same time when it's rubbing the fender. Oh, look at Ambrose go to the inside of Montoya right there.
Oh, we got trouble. 55. Oh, they got through it. Carpente came in there really, really strong. Ambrose gets another spot. Up to 3rd. Gets by Montoya.
15 to go. It's a long way here. It's a lot of turns.
Well, you want every bit of it when you're sitting in 3rd with 3 seconds back right now.
Okay, we've got to go back and look at some other stuff that's been going on. We'll keep an eye on this as well. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there. Looking for Greg Biffle. I'm guessing he's back in that. Yep, there he is.
Yeah, that's just got all. Man, I don't even know what happened on that one.
You saw the 16 back it into the wall. Now we're looking for Brandon Ash.
Oh, wow. Well, he got in there awfully hard. I'm not sure if he didn't have some help on that deal.
That's incredible. He's driving this thing off, though. And he must have got it far enough off the racetrack because that happened a while ago. He must have got it far enough off the racetrack.
Looking for him. I don't see him.
Hey, I feel bad for those guys. That's an independent team. His father builds the engines. Brendan works on the car. They've done a great job. They're out here competing against Roush and Hendricks. You know what I mean? Here's a team that didn't even show up for the crew to pit the thing. And they're out here on the same field. That's like playing on the baseball field of the Yankees or the Lakers. Playing basketball. You know, they're competing. So, sorry, I hate that.
Still there.
Somebody's
there's going to be dive bombs.
Yeah.
You can tell him all you want. He's going to dive bomb you.
What do you say? Tell him not to dive bomb me? Yeah. I'll tell him. Yeah.
Harvick looking at David Reagan.
Yeah, that's when the crew chief goes, yeah, no, I took care of it.
Sure. Wow.
Caution's out. Caution out. Watch that fire.
Caution for debris.
You would think so. Everything went on out there.
Bumpers dragging, sides torn off, everything else. You'd think there'd be something out there.
No, not again.
But you know what that means, don't you?
Keep it the inside.
No.
After the caution?
Double file restart?
You're right.
That's what I mean. In Casey Kane's going. No. Although this is good for Ambrose because he's going to be tucked up right behind Casey Kane. Oh, we got headers.
That's a header right there. Somebody has hit incredibly hard to knock the headers off.
Car.
Yeah, it's got to be. But I'm going to tell you something. When you start seeing headers, I mean, we see cars on ovals wreck a lot of times, and you see brake rotors and you see stuff. But that's a header.
When you get to the engine, that's really tough.
Yeah,
that's a hard hit.
When you hit hard enough that the carburetor and stuff starts flying off the car, that's a hard hit. That's big right there.
Well, 9 is holding on strong. The 14 and the 47 are behind them.
Go out and pick
They're
that
putting
up.
all the heat on them, but they ain't gonna buy them yet.
Carrying it Sam Cornish Jr. in the 77 car, who is 8 laps
Jimmy
down.
made a wise decision into 11 and let him go because the 47 passed him, but didn't make the corner.
Right now,
why bother? If you're 8 laps down, you know what?
Hey,
I know you're the stat
just
man.
reading the card. Field has gotten 2 to go. It's just going to get more wild when you get that.
So a guy calls us and he starts asking me all these questions about televisions, the differences between LCDs and plasmas, 10,000 versus a 15,000 contrast ratio. Those are very specific questions. So I asked him, where are you calling from? He's like, I'm at Walmart. And I'm like, okay, you're obviously calling us because we're knowledgeable and then we've got the price match guarantee. So why don't you come on in and we'll get you set up with exactly what you need. He was really happy and excited by the time he left the store. I think he's the best buyer for life.
Some days, my 8:15 bus is just a bus. But other days, like today, it's my office. The boss just emailed me and wants the new proposal ASAP. No worries, though. My smartphone, it's from AT&T. I'm on the nation's fastest 3G network. So that proposal, delivered.
The nation's fastest 3G network. Another reason why twice as many smartphone users have chosen AT&T. Get the BlackBerry Bold for $199.99 after mail-in rebate, only from AT&T.
What if we could use the sun to help keep us cool? Solar-powered ventilation to help cool you. Available on the 3rd generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
Oh, that's not necessary. You don't have to.
Hi, Mama. Did you get the flowers I sent?
Hey, MJ.
Love you.
The Haynes man himself.
Okay.
Speaking of which, my agent turned me on to these shirts. The collar doesn't stretch out. You should look into it.
Looks good, man. But I gotta go.
We should do dinner. You like Korean barbecue?
No.
We could just trade info. Maybe you and I could.
Take care, man.
The number's in there. Call me.
A collar that lays flat. That's the Comfort Fit Promise, only from Haynes.
Anything else I can get you? You can get me a new phone.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing, brought to you by Gillette Fusion. Gillette's closest, most comfortable shave. By Coca-Cola Classic. Collect the cans of summer.
Inside.
By Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong. Subway, eat fresh. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Toyota, moving forward.
Yeah, big braking zone.
The TNT Race family spending Father's Day in Sonoma, California on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Just 12 laps to go. The field getting the 1 to go. They will double up for a double file restart. It's Casey Kane and Tony Stewart. Then in the 3rd spot, Marcus Ambrose. There he is in that 47 car. Let's check in with Ralph Shaheen.
Frankie Curtis, Marcus's crew chief. Okay, you made some creative pit strategy to get you to this position. Now he's driving the wheels off that car. Can he get this thing won?
He's done a great job. You know, the Toyota, little Debbie Toyota's been great all day. You know, pit stops were really good. We've been adjusting on the car. He's done a great job. You know, it's been a roller coaster weekend for us, and I think we got a legitimate shot out of here. You know, those guys, we're definitely faster than them the last lap, so let's have to see what happens on this restart.
Matt, remember, they blew up an engine and tore the race car up yesterday, too. What a turnaround.
It's going to be 11 laps to go when we take the restart. You've got to be really impressed lap after lap as that car has just come together and the plans really come together for you and this team today.
Yeah, the Office Depot Old Spice Chevrolet is really good today. Tony, we know, is a great road course driver, so we're just looking forward to seeing what he can do here with Casey and Ambrose. Those guys are some really fast cars, too, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Brand new race car, took it to VIR up in Virginia, and it has just been a rocket ship ever since.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Ralph. Now we're going to set up today's NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile Now moment. Usually we go back and replay something for you, but as Matt said, 11 to go when they get the green. And this is going to be a moment. Find out what's happening now with the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Never miss a moment with live race radio, live in-car audio, and real-time stats on NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network. So if you're Casey Kane, what are you thinking?
So if I'm Casey Kane, I'm thinking that I gotta be far enough ahead of Tony when I get to the right-hander in turn 2. If I'm not, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm also thinking I can't get too wide going up that hill because there's a lot of trash, there's a lot of dirt, I've got hot tires, and if I get offline just a little bit, that's all it's going to take for Stewart to take the spot.
And if I'm Tony, I'm thinking, Casey's about out of tricks. We're on our 3rd restart here. He's already smoked me 1 time. I got to his door this time, but had to give up the position, you know, and had to fall back in line. So is this going to be closer than the first 2? First one wasn't close. That one was a little bit closer. So I think from the 14 standpoint, he's going to be a little bit more prepared, better prepared than where he was before.
When NASCAR announced double file restarts before Pocono, everybody immediately thought of this scenario. Late in the race at Sonoma, 2x2 up the hill. Kasey Kahne, Tony Stewart on the front row. The 2nd place car cannot beat the leader to the start-finish line. No passing till you get across the line.
Stewart spun the tires. Just that little bit when he jumped on the throttle, he lost 1 car length to Kasey Kahne.
Montoya's going to try for 2nd.
Still inside. Still inside.
Now Stewart has it. This next corner right there, he had a lot better forward bite than the 42 car. So he dodged the bullet right there.
And look at Ambrose right here.
Yeah, Ambrose is going.
Almost with
Reagan!
Almost with Ambrose is almost with a crossover there. He cut from the outside back across, but Montoya got away with it.
Boy, the track really squeezes you right there where that wall juts out.
Oh, here he comes. And this is what you got to do. Nice move. That's by Marcus Ambrose, and that's what you got to do. You got to throw the car in there. Once you make a decision, you're going. You got to follow through with it.
And that's a power move. He drove that thing down in there, got on the brakes. He never smoked the brake. You can tell he's modulating the brake and on the gas. He's driving with his feet in the seat of his pants right there. That was a smooth move.
And I started saying this, I'm not sure that the 42's brakes are as good as everybody else's. He seems like he's really been struggling under braking. And Kyle Busch has got more problems. He has transformed that car into a rubble.
Man.
Still under green.
Out there. Still out there. Still there.
I heard him say it
Still
will
there.
not fire.
Still inside.
What's Kasey Kahne thinking now?
This is killing Kasey Kahne right now.
It's killing him.
This is the last thing. He does not want to have to keep restarting this race.
10 to go. Still under green. Kasey leads, then Tony Stewart, then Marcus Ambrose in 3rd.
To the outside.
Yeah, he's off the line. No, he's right in the middle of the track. So and he got it fired.
He got it fired. He was trying to crank it.
Yep.
We're sitting here with an in-car seeing some stuff. He was trying to crank it. It wasn't like he was just sitting there.
Right in the middle,
and NASCAR did a great job.
We got another one.
Clear.
Can't tell by the smoke yet. Oh, they're jamming them up now. We got a bunch of guys
in front of you just come off the track.
6 car out here to the right.
Boris said. David Reagan, there's Boris is on board.
Still there, clear.
That was the only thing that Boris didn't hit yet.
I thought that was decided to go. Junior's involved, and Junior was having a good run. I got to give it. There's a lot of guys. I mean, this is just. But this is what this race is. This comes down to the last, and you can have a great run that goes for naught, goes all to pieces on you, right in the last 2 or 3 corners of the end of the race.
And we're still under green. Kasey Kahne leads. 9 to go. Go back and take a look.
2 wide, 83 right in your lap.
It's on board with Kyle Busch.
Still 3, still rolling. 3 wide.
Wow.
3 wide, 4 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide, 2 wide, 7 right side. 31 now. Keep rolling. 2 wide at your door. Corner, still down here. Oh,
yeah, he had somebody, I think, to the right side of him right there.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing any give or take here. That's all it is. These guys are just racing hard.
Look at this. This is 3.5 wide right there, just about. Reagan gets hit and gets spun by the 99 car, which sends him into the 88. If you go back and look at that, the 99 got right into the corner of the 6.
And I think
which
Boris
sent
got
him
turned.
And Boris got turned just trying to slow down.
Yeah, he got turned by Robbie.
Yeah,
he got clobbered.
Cars in the middle.
David Reagan only has 1 top 10 finish in 2009, 6th at Daytona.
And how many times have we seen that today where the car that causes the accident drives off scot-free and somebody else is punished for it? But that's the way it works on these road courses. And I mean, it's just part of it.
We got one more look on board with Carl Edwards.
And you see the 99, he just jacks up the 6, which sends him in there sideways and sends him into the 88. And here the 99 drives away and picks up two positions.
Spots, yeah.
Great job by Carl Edwards, if you want to call it that. But I mean,
cars up front here,
I'm
29,
being
slow it
sarcastic.
down.
Sorry.
Got something wrong with
Yeah, sorry. And, oh, here's Strimmy, man. And then
got motor problems.
Yeah, it looks like it. The way that thing's puffing.
Yeah.
Clear.
He gets to pit road. Top 3 cars right there. Coming to 7 to go. Here's some numbers for you. The number 5, the number 9, and the number 21 have been in all 20 previous races at this track. They are the only cars to compete in all 20 races without a win. So no 5 cars ever won here, no 21 cars ever won here, no number 9 cars ever won here. The 9 car leads now. Larry McReynolds, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just sitting here summing up these 3 cars, and right now there's definitely places on the racetrack, like right there in turn 11, that Tony Stewart is a little better through the middle of the corner. But I just almost wonder right now, Casey Kane, he's just running that car, I think.
7 more, bud. 7. Stay after. You're doing good.
Not trying to overdrive it, not abusing anything, but that 14 is all over him right now.
Well, you know what? And I noticed just when you were saying that, Larry, the 9 took a little bit different line through turn 11 that I don't think is the fastest line around there. So it's going to be interesting to keep watching these guys to see what kind of lines they're running. But you're right, Stewart did make some ground on him on that last lap.
Kevin Harvick restarted in the 7th position, and he currently runs in the 32nd spot.
And this is where, if you're in Tony's situation, you start worrying the guy in front of you. You just try to start filling up his mirrors as much as possible and hoping that he will start mirror driving and he will make a mistake, because it almost always happens when you push a guy and they start worrying about the mirror. That's when the mistake happens.
Well, we saw it earlier in the day at the very beginning of the race with the 83 car when the 18 caught him, when Kyle Busch caught him. He just worried him enough that finally he slides out up there in turn 7 and gives up the position and then drives away from him. That he just worried him, just as you say, Wally. He just worried him into doing something that he wouldn't normally do.
Just to polish off the Kevin Harvick story, cut tire on the 29.
This is where you almost want to tell Casey to reach up and grab the mirror and turn it up.
Yeah,
don't look at it. I'll tell you when the guy's close, but don't look in the rearview mirror.
Now, you're right, Kyle. He needs to focus on what's in front of him, not what's behind him.
Ralph, what are you focused on?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I rode with both Casey Kane and Tony Stewart around the racetrack earlier today in opening ceremonies, and Tony was talking about the fact that both he and Casey were kind of wishing it would be even hotter today, that the track would be even slipperier, because the 2 of them with their dirt track roots would really enjoy slipping and sliding these cars around here. Well, I'm pretty sure they got what they wished for right about now. These tires are pretty much shot. As you can see, the cars' handlings have gone away. They have to really drive these cars. They're both in their element. The ironic thing, though, is Casey said earlier in the week, road racing goes against everything I've ever learned about driving a race car.
And he's got one of the best in the business right behind him in Tony Stewart. Marcus Ambrose runs in 3rd. Jimmy Johnson is 4th. Hamlin is 5th. Montoya has slipped to 6th. A.J. Allmendinger's in the top 10. Max Pappas is in the top 10 in the 10th spot.
See, Casey runs a really, really low line down there in turn 11. And it almost looks like he's trying to search for grip down there, but it's hurting him getting off the corner.
Out there, still there.
5 to go.
But I'll tell you what, he's smooth. He's driving a smooth race.
Tony watches him all the way around, looking for his line, looking for where he might make a mistake.
Well, right here, from this point on is when you need to start setting him up. If you're going to pass Casey, because he's not making any mistakes. So you've got to be good right through here. And he's trying to get close. He's trying to get close. Now, from this point on, if he can stay that close or get a little bit closer to the 9 car, when he gets down to 11, he'll be able to try to pull out and outbreak him. But unless you're within a car length or less, you're not going to have a shot outbreaking the guy. See, right now, it's almost too far. He needs to be closer in order to pull off a braking pass. See, and Tony got in there too high.
And you saw he smoked that right front, and look how much ground he lost right there.
So, but he was trying. He was trying to get up there to get him set up. But he blew it just that little bit.
And the problem with this is now he's got to wait the whole next lap to either try and get into 7 or try him again when he gets back down here.
Yeah. Watch that number keep changing at the top of the screen. You can see how close they are right in front of you. We check with Matt.
Bill, 30 years ago, Nelson Stewart remembers
Still
like
out
it
there.
was yesterday.
Still out there.
When he bought his
Still
young
there.
son Anthony
Still there.
his first
Still inside
go-kart.
you.
30 years later, he's been along for every step of the way. The
Still
success,
there.
he's standing in
Clear.
the back of the pit, hoping to see his son go to victory lane here on Father's Day with his first road course win as an owner-driver.
The inside. There on the outside there.
Oh,
Clear.
Casey Muir, top of the hill.
The 98.
And he was in the 11th
All right, come
spot.
on. Let's roll. Right side. Inside.
There's a replay of Casey's.
Got a little help.
Wow.
Patrick
a lot of help.
Carpentier in the 55.
Yeah, that's not getting rooted out of the way. That's getting knocked out of the way. But, you know, Patrick had a line on him getting in there. And Casey, as Casey comes over, just tries to close the door.
Coming to 3 to go. Larry?
Yeah, I'm watching Tony Stewart make this move here. They'll be coming to 3 to go. You know, Matt just talked about a Father's Day present for Nelson Stewart, Tony Stewart's dad. But we talked about Casey Kane. He's not been to victory lane in over a year. But Kyle, how about the man they call the King? He's not been to victory lane in 11 years. When he went there with John Andretti at Martinsville, that'd be quite the Father's Day present for your dad.
Yeah, how
Go,
huge
bud.
would
There
that
you go.
be for
3 more.
RPM?
3 more. You got that one in front of you.
Second. You got Kane up, running up front. You know, the other guys got in some incidents and had some trouble. I'm going to tell you, Casey has done a great job. He has run his race. You know, if we go back to the early part of the race, they told him just race the racetrack and run your race. They put him in a position early with their pit strategy and stuff, with the fuel mileage that those guys had worked out. And now he's up here and, you know, he's got to worry about Tony Stewart. And that's a lot to worry about. Don't get me wrong. I'm really surprised Ambrose hadn't caught up to him faster than what he has, because I thought he was coming.
And just to clarify, Allmendinger in the 7th position.
7th. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I knew you were excited.
I just looked, man. I just, okay. He's on the board somewhere,
right,
on the left
is.
side of the board.
In a good position. Coming to 2 to go this time by.
And one thing about it, they really don't have, well, they have a little bit of traffic. The 18 car, I think the 18 will get out of the way, but they don't really have a lot of traffic to contend with, which is good for Casey.
You know, we're talking about these guys up front, and while all this, like you say, watch that ticker tape across the top. Max Pappas is 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? These guys, there's a lot of guys who have had some really good runs.
Understand the 87. There it is. Scott's speed has spun. 2 laps to go. The leaders climb the hill. It's everything you got right now.
Yeah, these cars are really evenly matched right now. The first 2 cars, actually the first 3 cars, because Ambrose is, they're all running almost the identical same times.
Caution's out.
Oh, no.
Caution.
Caution's out.
So they did not throw a caution for that. I saw
Caution
it
is
on
for
the
the
front
87
straightaway.
car
Moving out of the
stopped
groove.
on the course.
The 87's in up here in
If
7.
Casey does win this,
He's
he
out,
has
sort of
dodged
out
more
of the groove.
bullets in one
Wow.
race than I can remember in a long time.
3 on the inside on the front straightaway.
And even though we're inside 10 to go, inside 5 to go, it will be a double file restart.
Now the 87's sitting up here dead in the water.
No, that's a good reason to throw.
Boris has seen a few people today.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. From about that same angle, right off the left front fender.
Sam Hornish gets a free lucky dog again. And he's currently scored 7 laps down. Larry?
Yes, Bill.
Did you put your calculator away?
I never put my calculator away.
Okay. Earlier this morning, did we talk about that green-white checkered thing?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
But you know, honestly, with Casey Kane pitting with 39 laps to go,
And the caution laps?
and the caution laps, we had a ton of cautions. I think fuel-wise, everybody's in good shape.
Okay. Just wanted to double check.
But again, as I told Wally, never say never.
2
I'm
to
like
go.
the weatherman in Florida. 50% chance of rain today, you know. Can't go wrong.
Struck me who's in that 55.
2 to go right now.
It's not Michael
There'll
Walker.
be one
Who is
attempt
it?
at a green-white checkered
Carpentier.
finish.
I was thinking to myself, there's no way.
What Casey's
Now
hoping
it
for
makes
right
sense.
now is just to throw that,
Oh, yeah, sure
that
does.
green, and there will be mayhem.
There's the trophy, and that was delivered here by David Reagan, courtesy of UPS. And some of the guys from the United States Coast Guard Air Station San Francisco, they are the guardians of the Golden Gate. The crewman who hand carried the trophy from for the Coast Guard, Petty Officer Second Class
everybody,
Brian
this
Patrick,
is our one
is a
attempt.
hardcore race
So,
fan when he is not flying on
there is a
rescue
yellow,
missions or serving
we need
as
to try
a
to maintain a reasonable
counter-terrorism
speed on our way
precision
through it.
aerial marksman sharpshooter.
Cancel.
He's a helicopter mechanic.
You know, and that's the way trophies should look as far as I'm concerned. They should be cool like that.
They should be.
Yeah, it should be. So
when you drive as hard as Casey and Tony and these guys have driven today, you want to get out and see something nice. You want to see some nice hardware there.
And we salute the Coast Guard and all the men and women of our armed forces. There you see the pointers showing you where the guys are in the running order. And again, it will be a double file restart.
Now this actually could work in Ambrose's favor. If he could stay with Kane and they're close enough on the restart and get in front of Stewart, he's got a shot. But he's got to get in front of Stewart in order to have a shot.
Of course, if you're third and the first two guys take each other out, then you're in a pretty good spot too.
And that could happen.
One attempt at a green-white checkered finish. If the caution comes out after the green flag is waved, the race is over. The field is frozen, and NASCAR will use scoring loops and videotaped replays to determine the finishing order. Boy, Casey Kane just sitting in that car.
He's getting great practice on restarts, though. Now, last time, like I said, I pointed out, Tony Stewart spun the tires. And that's what cost him a little bit. And you see him working that wheel. He's trying to keep those tires clean.
And, you know, and once they break loose, they don't come back. You got to feather out of the gas. And that's what, that gave the 9 car an opportunity to clear him right there. So we've seen the 9 car clear him twice. Once, second time he didn't clear him, third time he did clear him again.
Let's watch Tony on the inside. See how the tail of the car just spun a little bit? That's all it takes to lose 1 or 2 car lengths.
And you see the momentum that the outside line gains when Tony, the inside line didn't go anywhere, and here's Montoya on the outside on that restart and had position right there.
And Stewart right there doesn't know if he has his rear tires back yet.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a while to feel it out.
Yeah, and Tony fights back, and now he's got the position. But I'm telling you, he could have easily gone from second on that restart back a couple of positions and taken that whole inside line with him.
4th caution flag since Casey took the lead. Kane's best finish at this track is 23rd back in 2007. It's Casey Kane and Tony Stewart. Ambrose, Johnson, Hamlin. Montoya is 6th. Allmendinger 7th. Boyer, Edwards, and Pappas.
Those 48 guys are just always there.
Yeah, just always there,
just
man.
Always there.
Just no matter what happens to him. But and we've seen, you know, Jimmy's kind of got in the middle of a couple accidents, dodged a couple accidents, but they've stayed calm on the radio. You know, listening to the radio communication under caution.
Or one
what
attempt
we've
at
played
green-white
here
checker.
on TV. It's just
Caution
been phenomenal
ended,
how
not
calm they've been.
Field has gotten the 1 to go. Just a brief look at the championship points right now to show you how important the next 4 miles are going to be when they get the green flag. Juan Montoya is 13th in points, 3 out of 12. Casey Kane is 14th, 6 out of 12.
And see, you know, these guys are running right now. They're running side by side. You got to be careful even when you're running right now because you're picking up debris. You know, you want one corner you're offline, the next corner you're online. So it's real important to keep those tires clean when you're coming down the green because you are running through garbage right now.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about it all the time. This of all the racetracks you run, a racetrack like this, a road course, is a single groove racetrack. Everybody runs the same place. You try to hit the same marks. So all the rubber and all the marbles go out. That's why it's so phenomenal when these guys step out to pass somebody on the outside. It just takes my breath to say, watch them sometimes. Even down here in turn 11 where they run everywhere. But when their tires are hot, just like we've talked about, when their tires are hot, they're picking up everything right now.
Still got 2 exciting laps to go, but when we're done here on TNT, complete post-race coverage at NASCAR.com. And just once again to point out, it's very important to get the lead and hang on to it because if the caution comes out for any reason, the race is over.
Yeah, this is probably the most important first or second turn for these guys up in the front than we've had all day, just for that reason.
Yeah, if Casey can make it to the top of the hill and be in the lead, and something happens at the bottom of the hill or getting in right behind him in turn 2 and he's in turn 3, he's a race winner. Yep. And that's the rules. And that's just the way, and everybody understands that. We can all complain about it or people can comment about it, but that's the rules we race on.
The fans here in Sonoma certainly have gotten their money's worth today.
Actually, yeah, I forgot Ambrose has got to start on the inside. So, so the 48 will actually line up behind Casey.
Right.
Which is good for him, I think.
We're going to find out.
All right, tighten the belt, man. Green, white checker here.
Drivers try and put some heat in their tires.
Yeah, see how they're doing the burnouts right there. They're doing those burnouts to try to avoid what happened to Tony Stewart on the last restart. Clean them rear tires off.
Only 2 drivers in the top 12 have ever won a road course race. Tony Stewart and Juan Pablo Montoya.
All righty there. Line up with you. Let's see here. Your pace car is off.
Here we go. Final restart of the race.
Ready?
Who's going to win the battle to get to turn 1 first?
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
Green's in the air.
Got a pretty good start right there. He moved first anyhow.
Yep.
Still out.
Yeah, he's got a clean start.
Clean start. Clear right there. He cleared.
Still there.
So the 9 car clears up to turn 1. Oh, he's going to look at him get in there. Wow.
Ambrose
Still there. Clear, clear, clear.
Got to stay there. Got it. And when you're in the 48 in that position on the outside, there's nothing you can do. You've got to get the guy to the corner.
And you don't want to force that issue for 3rd place either. We have points racing too. He's had 2 weeks where he went into this place leading the race or running 2nd, and has got 40th place finishes almost to show for it. Not that bad, but that's an exaggeration.
Watch in the back there, because if anything happens, it's going to be right here. There's 5 abreast going in there.
Still out there.
Still
there.
A lot of brake
clear,
smoke.
clear.
A lot of brake smoke back there behind him.
And I can't tell you how impressive it is. They all, once again, got through turns 1 and 2.
That's why no matter how much we talk about it, these guys are the best guys in the world, man, when it comes to doing this kind of stuff.
Into turn 11. Coming to the white flag. Casey Kane leads. Tony Stewart is 2nd. Here comes Marcus Ambrose.
Oh, Stewart gets a little bit sideways here, but he was running it in hard in turn 11.
One more.
White flag in the air, last lap.
I'm not sure. Tony Stewart's going to have to get a lot closer if he's going to make any kind of move. He's got till now till turn 10.
Oh! It's Mark Martin, Robbie Gordon, Jeff Burton.
These guys got to keep going. I don't see anything.
Stay under green.
I don't think Stewart.
They all got away.
Enough, but Ambrose is definitely looking at the back of the 14 car.
Five back, bud. 5 back.
Less than half a lap. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th behind Casey Kane.
Out there. Still out. Clear. Clear.
Yeah, no, I think they're too spread out unless you see a real bonsai from somebody. I tell you, Casey's done a nice job. It's a lot of pressure doing that over and over again.
Casey Kane's father supported his racing career from a very early age. Sent him off to the Midwest from Enumclaw, Washington, to further his racing career after he got out of high school. Now he comes back to the West Coast.
All clear. All clear.
Casey Kane wins at Sonoma.
Maybe that's a great finish. Good job, guys.
That's impressive.
That's a damn nice restart, buddy. I'm proud of you. Finish nice, buddy. Nice.
Montoya in 6th. Allmendinger in top 10.
I didn't make any friends, but
he passed on the
it
outside.
worked. Good job. Okay. Nobody likes you anyway. No, you remember we're going to Daytona. I'll show you there.
Some of those road course ringers kind of worked their way up in there.
The King is headed to victory lane.
Headed to victory lane. But what is that? 3 cars in the top 10 for
Stewart win a thing or the 9?
Motorsports. That's big.
The 9.
That's
held
big.
off. The 9,
And
damn.
huge for
held
Casey
off.
Kane and that Budweiser team.
Yes. And for Dodge. And we got to throw that in these guys.
44 was too. We're missing something. Sorry, buddy. We got to get something better, man. You're driving the wheels off.
What he was thinking every restart.
Every restart. And that's the deal. It's like, you know, we get all excited about it because it's double file, and we're setting up here. These guys have to do it lap after lap, time after time. That just killed me, man.
Kasey Kahne's previous best road course finish was 14th, twice, both of those at Watkins Glen. Now he's a road course winner at Sonoma. He's going to victory lane, and we'll take you.